Hey, we're live. This is the Fake Nerd Podcast, episode 199.
Wow!
199. I'm Brandon T. McClure. With me, as always, in quarantine cast realm of the burning hellfire that is Los Angeles, is Ben Magnet.
Yeah, still here. It's hot. It's really hot.
Sparks ready.
It's very warm. It's very, very warm.
And Ryan Eliopoulos.
What they said, I agree. It's a scorcher this week.
So we're back again. We're always back every week like clockwork. But this week, I got something for you guys. It came in the mail. I'm so excited to show you.
I'm so excited.
This unboxing that I got from our good friend at Geek Fine Art.
Oh!
So I'm a live unboxing, guys. Exciting stuff. Downright nerdy. I stole this from you.
It's beautiful art being open right now. That's what's happening.
Okay. Oh, I should have thought about this real quick. Okay.
Boxes in. Hey, that means they prepped it well. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is.
Oh, having a little trouble.
Killing audio listeners right now.
Here we go.
What is it?
Here we go, guys. This beautiful Batman Beyond print from Geek Fine Art.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the background is our logo.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk? We still exist.
Along with 2 other podcasts, right?
Yeah, Pinky's Out and Downright Nerdy.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
That's how you know we made it.
We did. And we're still around in the future.
We're graffiti in a piece of fan art.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I had to do it because Batman Beyond is great.
I'm not going to lie. I probably will buy that print at some point.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
For me, it's not probably. It's will. Because he actually messaged me. He's like, hey, you still buy a print? I was like, yes, I am. I'm waiting until I get paid on Friday. So I got paid and I need to get it.
Oh, hello from Japan.
Hi, Titus. Thanks for always stopping by.
Okay, Titus.
The only reason I say probably is I don't feel like I can justify doing it until I get some of the other art I already own up.
Yeah.
I own too much.
Yeah.
I have let like 4 posters go over the past 2 months. I was like, really want it. I don't think I can justify it though.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been working on my office wall and I have a spot saved for it so I figured I should jump on it right now.
That's
Jump
awesome.
on it.
Yeah. If you guys don't mind, I'll finish up my week. I didn't do a whole lot, so it's going to be really quick. I finished The Breakfast. I started and finished The Breakfast Club off of Sparks' recommendation on Netflix.
Babysitter's
No,
Club?
you didn't.
The Babysitter's Club.
Yeah, you did.
That's the show I'm talking about, not The Breakfast Club. The Babysitter's Club on Netflix. Yeah, that show was charming and cute, and those actresses are pretty good. I think they got a long career ahead of them.
Yeah.
Zara loved it. She read the books when she was a kid, so
Okay.
it was right up her alley.
Now that you watched it, I want to talk about how mad I am that she fixes her friendship in the last episode, and she's not going to be a member of the Babysitters Club. I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And it's like, nah, she lives in New York, so she's not going to be part of the club. And I'm like, that's stupid. She's great.
Well, I think it's you know what? Honestly, I think she's going to be in the next season.
I'm sure she will be. I just don't think she's going to. I wanted her to be a regular.
Yeah.
Because I knew that the other 2 that they just added, they're going to be regulars. Yeah.
Yeah, the other 2 were like, yeah, we're going to school and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, well, we just found some new characters for next season.
Yep.
And I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. The first one. I was in a Pirates mood. That movie's so great. The movie holds up really well.
Despite what that franchise became, that first movie is still an Oscar nominated. Like, that movie's still incredible. Like, I haven't watched it in a couple years, but like that movie still is like one of the greatest blockbusters ever made. Like, no contest. Like, just the production value, the acting, like it just everyone's
the effects hold up so well 20 years later.
Yeah. That movie is the
best adventure movie since The Mask of Zorro. And I don't think anything's taken that title since.
The Adventures of Tintin.
Huh?
The Adventures of Tintin.
Okay, let me clarify.
I'm not serious.
No, but I think Tintin deserves its place.
Okay.
People have to know that movie exists.
I wish Tintin didn't get forgotten because I think it's high quality animated entertainment.
For real.
Yeah. But yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, I posted on Instagram when I finished it. I was like, I think this is one of those very few perfect movies. Honestly, that movie is incredible, and I love it.
I agree.
God, I remember watching that movie opening day, thinking that movie was gonna be bad because when it first came out, we were thinking it's based off a theme park ride. Oh wow, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Not that theater, we thought it was phenomenal.
The final fight between Jack and Barbossa.
Oh, so great.
The effects work in that is incredible, and it holds up so well, and it's so crisp and perfect, and it's shocking to me that it came out as long as it did, and it's like the lighting is specifically designed so that the effects know where to put their skeletons, and it's so seamless.
I don't think any Pirates movie that followed has ever recaptured the perfect balance of humor and drama that one did. It's always leaning a little too hard in either direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think the first two sequels, I think, lean too close to comedy, but Black Pearl leaned too close to drama. Not Black Pearl, Blackbeard's one.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Also, there's just great dialogue in that movie. Like when they're fighting, and Barbossa's like, "So what are we gonna do, Jack? We gotta be fighting for all eternity, or you could just surrender."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just the quips in that movie are great.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I do think that just because we're bringing it up, I do think that final fight scene is fantastic. But for me, I don't think any fight scene in Pirates ever tops the one on the wheel in the second one.
That's pretty good.
The second one is my favorite one, if I'm being honest.
That's a really good one.
Because I think Davy Jones is still, like,
incredible.
If we're talking about, like, special effects, like, maybe, like, still for me, one of the coolest, like, effects for a character. Like, again, that movie also came out, like almost, like, what, 15 years ago at this point? Like, when did that movie come out? Yeah. Davy Jones
came out when I was in high school.
Yeah,
still looks great.
High school, you're right. I went to the third one's premiere in high school.
Right?
Oh my god!
And one of the best movie villains of the modern age.
Like his whole crew, like the hammerhead designs, like the eel guy. Like
I was. His beard was an octopus.
Yeah,
he had an octopus
crab's arm. Yeah, dude. Like those movies. Yeah, I want to. Let's get back to there. Can we get back to there? I missed that.
Yeah, I honestly, as Ryan said, his second is his favorite. 3 is actually my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
For me, 3 is really, really a lot of fun and really great. But that first one, and I think everyone can agree, even if your favorite's 5, which you're a monster, but the first one is still the best.
I thought they only made 4.
Yeah, they only made 4.
Oh, you're right. They only made 4.
Yeah,
never heard of a 5th one.
But then I've been also going through. Outside of that, I've been working on my place, unpacking still. We played Dead by Daylight, the 4 of us.
A lot. There was a lot of
that. Yeah, go Freddy Krueger. And
a lot of fun.
And I've been going through Adventure Time. On season 4 of Adventure Time now. I did not realize there were almost 300 episodes of that show.
Hell yeah, there's 10 seasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I just slowly after season 4, I think was the last episode I saw. It just all of it went over my head.
You and I are like in the exact same boat, Brandon. Like I would watch those first couple seasons like on repeat, and then just something happened where I stopped, and then it's like years later, and like how many episodes are there? Oh boy, I don't
remember when Princess Breezy shows up. She's the bee princess. You haven't met her yet?
No.
Okay, cool. Because I want to talk to you after that episode comes out. You get that episode is the one that cemented for me. Like, oh, Adventure Time is gonna like have kids a decade from now that go, oh, I understand what this meant, because they won't have gotten it when they saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last episode I saw, like I've already been introduced to Marceline's past and Simon's past and kind of all like I've met the Lich, so I know I've seen like the Under and Susan Strong and all that. So like I'm starting to see the world building and the continuity. But the last episode I saw was the bear just returned the Enchiridion to the snail, which is a sentence that makes total sense if you've seen the show.
No, I know exactly where you are. Yeah. Oh man, it's so sad. The way things fell out with that bear.
Yeah.
Rough.
So what I find interesting, so basically what I wanted to say about it was like, I'm sad I dropped off of it, but it's exactly the show I would make. Like it's got my humor down. This kind of stupid, ridiculous way, like doesn't make any sense moments.
Party Wolf is a wolf head that lives in the clouds with a party hat, and he parties in Cloud City.
I remember Party Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh,
but also there's episodes where it's a snow goblin learning how to love a firewolf puppy, And like the continuity with a really deep backstory, and they pay attention to continuity, but it's so wholesome and wonderful for children still, and they don't need those moments to make it make sense. Yep.
Party Wolf.
Party Wolf. He's a god. He's a god of parties.
Yeah, that show's brilliant, and I think I'm so sad it's taking me this long to finally like try and finish it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I shouldn't be surprised. One of my favorite cartoons this past decade was Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and her best friend is Ponyhead, which is literally a floating head of a pony who uses her cell phone on the fly.
Star vs. the Force of Evil is super creative and awesome, and definitely takes some cues from Adventure Time. But trust me, nothing beats Adventure Time's craziness.
I bet it doesn't.
The wildness that it goes through, and then like it's always something super bizarre happens, but then it totally like justifies its existence in the continuity of the world still.
Yeah. So
they
Ben,
don't
for example,
but they always end up doing it. Like you don't need the explanation, but you get it, and it makes sense.
Ben, for example, there's a snail in every episode, and one episode that snail becomes a character.
Yeah.
And so like, and then there are moments where it's just like the Ice King will say something stupid, or there's a deer that for 6 months had the candy people all in all trapped underneath the candy city, and he just takes off his hooves and he's got fingers underneath.
What the?
That's a great gift. That's a classic gift.
Is one of the scariest things.
Greetings.
Look who it is.
Oh yeah,
Look
we just,
who it is. Your ears must have been burning.
Yeah, you missed it, man. I unboxed it already. Great work, love it.
I'm buying mine tonight. So I forgot to order mine on Friday, but I'm buying mine tonight once we're done here.
Love it.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying Adventure Time. It's brilliant. Every
awesome.
episode just gets better.
I gotta tell you, like, please, anytime you want to talk about it, hit me up. I love talking about that show.
Yeah.
I want to revisit it so badly, but right now my priority is I gotta find some time to sit down and watch the BMO special because I haven't done it yet.
It's out?
Yeah, it's out. The BMO special is out, and I haven't watched it yet.
So much stuff. Oh my god.
Also, Voltron, maybe.
I mean, let's talk. I mean, like I'm in season 3 of Voltron, so
yeah. Hey Netflix, if you're sorry, Geek Fine Art says thanks guys, appreciate the shout. Of course, dude. Thank you. Netflix, if you're listening, Voltron final seasons and Troll Hunters final seasons, where are they? Let's go. DVD, come on.
We're in a pandemic.
Netflix has plenty of money to put DVDs out.
Even better, just complete series Blu-ray sets.
There you
like
go.
Adventure Time deserves and didn't get either.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Do you know what infuriates me? The UK always gets those. The UK has Blu-ray sets of all these things.
They deserve it.
All
That's
of
why.
them.
We don't deserve
They
it.
deserve it.
We need to earn it. We need to earn it.
Okay, but that's really all I got.
I'll go.
all I got.
I didn't do much this week again. So yeah, I'm still working now. I think Ben, you're not working right now, right, at all? So yeah, I'm the only one working, which really bums me out. Let me tell you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your
bums me
fault.
out for you.
Yeah. So I only had like an hour left of the Spider-Man. Yo, cat, stop it. Our cats are feeling it tonight, you guys. Let me tell you. I had like an hour left of the Spider-Man DLC. I didn't think I was going to finish it just because I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. But I wasn't feeling anything else. So I was like, I'll just finish it because I'm almost done. And that final like mission or two are really, really good. Okay. I do think it's worth it. Also, you should definitely finish it because it absolutely sets up the Miles Morales game 100%.
Oh, okay.
Straight up.
You know what? That makes sense
100%.
because right where I'm at in the Black Cat part, they just had a part where Miles like called Peter
That
while he was
happens
swinging
so
through the
much.
city, and he's like, "Hey man, what you doing?" He's like, "I'm kind of doing Spider-Man stuff." And Miles is like, "Oh, I just wanted to talk to you about." You know what? It can wait. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, Miles, what?"
Brandon, you beat it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, because you are going to beat it, so I won't tell you like the fine details. But like,
I'm going to.
It over the course of like the 6 or so hours, yeah, our cat's going crazy, dude. Over the course of the game, like you start talking to Miles a lot and MJ a lot, and it actually literally, Silver Sable is really essential to the plot, and actually the stuff between her and Spider-Man at the end is really good. And like she finally opens up because she's a very secluded, like emotionally reserved character, and she finally starts to bond with Spider-Man, and they have some really good comedy together, which makes me excited for the future of hope she's still involved. But yeah, setup stuff with Miles is really cool, and now I'm like It kind of almost is essential now to playlist if you want to know where the stories started.
Sure.
Because it explains what's going on with Peter and what's going on with Miles and what's going on with MJ. It is straight up just like, here's spoilers. I don't think everyone played this DLC because it explains what the next game
I think
is.
more people probably played it at this point than didn't, because I think a lot of people ended up picking up the like definitive edition that included all of it automatically, so they probably did.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people that ended up picking up Spider-Man later and are playing through it now.
Yeah. Again, if you can get that thing at a discounted price, the DLC is fun enough. Besides that, I did a lot of research,
I knew there was a reason why I liked the DLC, but every time he brought it up, I was like, no, he's right. Why did I like it so much? And then you're like, no, the ending's like, right.
Again,
that's
like
why. It ends strong.
The actual story stuff is like, it's pretty good. It's just everything surrounding it is very like lazy. Whereas like the main game, it's not.
I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is like the gameplay missions right now when I'm doing the Black Cat stuff is this is all post the main story stuff. And I'm fighting really basic goons.
Yeah.
Who are weaker than the last dudes I was facing, and it feels like a step backwards.
Yeah, and
Sure.
it definitely
like challenge. I'm like, this is not
it gets
hard at
I
this
promise
point.
you, it gets super hard.
I believe it, but like where you start, like the whole, I think like I'm almost done with the Black Cat part, and I can't imagine it getting that much more challenging with the goons that you're facing. And I'm like, this is a whole first section coming out of that part of the game where you don't have to work very hard at all.
Yeah.
Especially because you're at the point where you have a ton of stuff.
The cat.
Yeah. It's your week.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I thought you were talking about more about Spider-Man. So I did that. We are talking about something next week, so I'm doing a lot of research into that. So that was a lot of my free time doing that. A lot of my free time was spent with you guys, killing y'all and being killed by y'all, getting annoyed by cats constantly. Let's see, what else did I do? I did research on that. She heard me. She's coming towards me.
She just leapt halfway across the room.
So
really?
I did research on NGE, and then I did research on something else. And I forgot what it was, but I spent a lot of my week doing it. But I'll probably remember halfway through the episode.
You also did Downright Annoyed.
Yes. Thank you for someone reminding me. I did Downright Annoyed. We talked about Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is a fun movie.
That link is in the description below if you want to check that out.
Yes.
Harrison Ford, by the way, carried in Blade Runner 2049. I forgot. I can't believe you didn't mention that.
I forgot, but you know, like when you're looking through a dozen things and one is only sticking out, it's hard to notice it sometimes.
That's fair. But you guys, that was in your discussion when you guys were talking about what the next week's movie is, which is Cowboys and Aliens. Thank you. I love that movie.
Yes, you love that movie because you have a nice poster of it, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Very valid. Very valid.
You had a nice experience.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's definitely not
exactly.
biased the movie at all.
Haven't seen it in years.
Yes.
I really like the cinematography of that movie.
Oh,
I remember that very clearly.
Hey, Batman vs Superman looks great too.
No, I mean like specifically because they explain how they went out of their way to make it like the shots are designed to be like the same shots they would do with really old westerns. The exact same way they tried to use the exact same techniques. Nothing fancier. No.
I guess that's why it's so boring. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Not saying it.
I can't.
I'm not saying it.
I just hope I'm wrong because my memory of it is just like, wow, you made Iron Man. So we'll see. Besides that, that's it.
You read some comics.
I read.
You want to talk about any of them?
Oh, you're right.
Like Deceased?
You're right. I bought a bunch of comics, but I only read a couple of them. Thank you for reminding me. I don't remember. The first DC sequel book, DC's Dead Planet, came out. Spoilers. That's a book about all the DC heroes becoming evil zombies because of Darkseid. The sequel book is very good. Very strong first issue. It is exactly what, when we first learned about it, what I wanted the 5G to be. The legacy characters taking over. And it is exactly that. You got John as Superman. You got Damian as Batman. You got Ollie and Green Lantern Dinah on the team. It's so much fun. And the premise of it is so strong where I'm like, okay, I'm actually invested in where this is going. And Tom Taylor is he's the king at alternate stories. Like Injustice was dope. He has the characters' voices down. Tom Taylor's great. Highly recommend that zombie book.
You reminded me. So the Generation Zero one-shot free comic book day issue was released this past week, but in the trade paperback of Flash Forward.
That's hilarious.
Which it was originally solicited to be collected because Free Comic Book Day was supposed to already have happened.
Yes.
So he, so they kept it in the trade. So I read it because, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's pretty decent setup to what I think 5G was meant to be, which was Wally going through the timeline and seeing what the new continuity is.
Yes.
Which is something that I'm always kind of interested in. And then whatever the hell 5G was supposed to be after that. But I do think there's a rewrite in it because it's like Wally is like, I can see everything. I can rewrite I can mend the multiverse, and I can make it make sense again, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, what? Something's happening. What? Oh, no. Someone else is already doing it. I have to kill the Batman who laughs.
Oh, geez, Louise.
To be continued in death metal.
Oh, okay. Well.
So I was like, okay.
I have to kill the Batman who laughs.
Wally, you're going to come back to us one day and just be yourself, and it's going to be fantastic. It's just, you're just going to be hilarious and fast, and that's all we need.
But
everything that happened with Wally, the most disappointing promise of Rebirth so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
because like we got Superman, we wanted back, and we got
Doomsday Clock, kind of.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But that was kind of what I was thinking of. Is Wally more depressing than the use of Dr. Manhattan?
I can forgive Dr. Manhattan because it's Dr. Manhattan being Dr. Manhattan.
Sure.
It's not Wally being a serial killer or Wally being Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, like I would just love to have Wally.
We talked about it. We talked about when we were talking about Doomsday Clock, and we all agreed like Wally should have been a part of that story.
Yeah.
The whole point was that Wally came back. Yeah, like Wally coming back signifies rebirth and hope and everything, and then it's just he's a serial killer.
So intertwined with that stuff, like it seems like they're retroactively doing it by making him Dr. Manhattan because he wasn't actually involved. And I'm like, that just okay.
I've read all the stories where he's Dr. Manhattan. I've yet to see a reason why he should be.
Yeah,
it could just be Metron. Batman was. I wouldn't care about that as much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The one more comic that I read was the X-Men comic I got this week, the new actual X-Men comic, which was X-Force. And X-Force 10 is fantastic. That continues to be like the not sleeper surprise because it's very popular, but like the sleeper hit of like people didn't think it would be as good as it is. And now it's like, it's every issue. I'm just like, damn, they're doing some really good stuff. It's super violent. It's super romantic. The stuff with the threesomes going on with Logan and Cyclops and Jean, like they're just confirming it like nobody's business. Who gives a shit? X-Men continues to be great. I cannot wait for that 30,000 issue crossover event, X of Swords.
Did you read the interview where they were like, yeah, it got bigger thanks to the pandemic? I'm like, what?
No, because there are a bunch of people stuck in their houses and they're just brainstorming ideas like this, exactly like this. And they're like, well, shit, we need more issues. Let's just do them. We got the time.
Yeah.
But do you have the money?
Right. It's like one of the interviews that I read today about the X books and what the status of them is that they've had to cancel some that were going to come out, and they're like, because of the pandemic, we're not going to do some titles that weren't announced yet that we were going to do, but we're going to do other ones. And so I just hope that means the Moira book is still coming.
She's integral to the plot, so like that is definitely guaranteed more than maybe like one of the side character books.
Right. Apparently Children of the Atom is on the chopping block. We're not sure if that's actually coming out.
I saw that rumor.
That's hella disappointing.
I hope that's not going to come.
Because that is like,
I hope that actually will.
That's super anticipated, man.
Yeah,
I'm dying for that.
Oh, and speaking of X-Men, Ryan, I mean, all of us are reading X-Men, so all of us, guys, the Free Comic Book Day X-Men issue comes out this Wednesday. We got to pick it up.
You know what, I was thinking about it, but now I'm not. Oh, the first X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, is officially on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Yay.
And you can still see Logan's butt.
Hell yeah.
But is it
uncensored.
a road cut?
Nope.
No.
Not yet.
Road cut's better, to be honest.
I agree.
I'll go.
Do it.
Because we live together, so some of our things are connected. Like, we watched Doom Patrol, so we're caught up. And that had probably the greatest single, like, minute and a half gag Doom Patrol has had up to this point.
Yeah, I tweeted about it.
I saw
for real. I was like, the entire show's existence is justified for this one gag, and it's probably going to be online soon.
So good. I'm sure you're going to end up actually seeing it somehow because it's kind of a standalone bit.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Holy crap. I love that show. That show's incredible. Doom Patrol for life.
I agree.
We did some other stuff this week. We all finished Wasted Space, What's Out.
Yes.
And we did a book club about it. That isn't on YouTube yet, but it'll be on YouTube tomorrow. I promise. It'll be on YouTube probably by the time you're no, because this is live. Probably by the time you could listen to this episode but not watch it. But listen only, it'll be up. So maybe. It'll be up Monday. So that definitely happened. Also, Mortal Kombat Basement Arcade. We've got like two left, and the next one will be up for that tomorrow too.
Whoop, whoop.
Ryan and I are currently working out a new Basement Arcade to come out.
It's true.
Nice.
I did a whole. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it behind us. The back corner back there has totally changed.
Yeah.
I swapped out 2 shelving units back there for 2 different ones, and a whole new comic shelf has moved into our kitchen. I've got a whole new setup. That was a whole day of organization and work. And while I was doing it, I was doing 2 things. I was listening to a podcast talk about NG, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then I was watching Neon Genesis Evangelion throughout the week. That was a lot of my week, was watching it on Netflix. I've watched. I finished watching the director's cut episodes of the original ADV dub, and then I started the Netflix one. And I was telling Ryan that yes, and I've reached the point where I'm at in the Netflix one. I know for sure you guys did watch the director's cut episodes on Netflix. 100%, right. You did. Those original pieces are very different. The things that they left, like, you got so much more context than I did when I watched it the first time.
Right.
And when I was going through the ADV dub. So when I was watching those director cuts episodes, I'm like, this kind of repaints everything. So I'm totally ingesting new information I never had about the show.
Yeah, interesting.
That's been fun. I'm excited for a discussion about it. Humble Bundle right now is doing an awesome bundle called Be the Change. It's available for, I think, 18 more days. And if you spend up to $20, you get all of it. It is like $1,700 worth of content. This is all a lot of comics, a lot of books, a lot of audiobooks, all Black creators, all Black voices. And it all benefits Black Lives Matter and charities. So this episode isn't sponsored by Humble Bundle, but and I'm really pleased that this bundle came out. I think I encourage everyone to get it. Even if you only want to get like one of the lower tier prices, you'll still get a crap ton of comics and some good books. Yep. A lot of worthwhile stuff. I was anticipating this ever since Gail Simone started tweeting about it.
I spread the good word of Humble Bundle everywhere I go. I check daily because they have great bundles of comics, movies, video games, audio dramas, everything. And they're for extremely cheap prices, and they almost always all go to charity, or you can choose to do half charity, half to the developer.
Right, you get to decide where the money goes.
Yeah, you can give it all the charity you want. But specifically the last couple months, this isn't the first time they've done this. They've done this at least once a month, where it is thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and it's like a lot of sometimes older stuff, but it's still a bunch of stuff, and all of it goes directly to a charity to help.
Right. This, to my knowledge, was the big one that was a big push for like Black voices, that they were getting like a whole lot of really important Black books. There's a lot of like, real life memoir stuff to this and everything. And they put it together really well. Gail Simone did say that like this is the biggest content wise bundle that Humble Bundle has done.
I love
it.
Awesome.
So I highly encourage everyone to check it out. Well, we're supporting. You get so much crap for $20, guys. It's insane. As we mentioned before, there was a whole bunch of Dead by Daylight this week.
Yep.
Ryan and I watched another episode of McMillions. We're making our way through that documentary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, man, corruption. It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
I like that. I like that docuseries a lot.
So I do movies once a week with a couple of people over Discord to just like have a moment where we get together and watch movies. And this week we watched a movie called Predestination. And
I've always wanted to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Never mind.
I don't totally recommend it. I mean, like, go in with an open mind and everything. The best, without me spoiling anything, here's what I'll say. Like, usually, because we kind of bantered about it after we watched it, and I think we distilled it down to this. This is the thing we didn't like about it. Usually a film gives you a whole lot of setup of the universe's rules and what's happening and how it works, and then the thing that makes the story interesting is a conflict and how that conflict is addressed or resolved. Mm-hmm. This movie is set up with no conflict.
Interesting.
And so that makes it so that by the end of it, you're kind of unsatisfied because you just kind of learned about this world, but nothing really was confronted or changed.
I bought it on DVD ages ago, and I never got around to watching it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely take your time with it. I'm not discouraging people from watching. I'm just temper your expectations. It's not. Sure. There's good things about, like, there's good performances in it.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke, I'm sure is good.
It relies pretty heavily on twists that are super heavy-handed, and you can kind of see coming a mile away, but it pretends you can't.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, There's that. I watched 2 more episodes of Stargirl, and I like the introduction of other characters, but I still don't love our main girl.
I'm an episode behind.
Then you're still further than me.
Okay.
So the episode with Wild Tiger, where they go to the hospital, and she's just like, I'm going to go... You know who but anyway, I'm going to go cut the power to the hospital so that you can hide in darkness.
The glowing
and just
staff.
Kill a lot of people. This girl is so incompetent. It's very hard to root for her.
Yeah.
She should not be doing what she's doing. She's bad at it. New people she brings in are automatically better and smarter about it than her. It's very hard to root for your protagonist when she's this incompetent. And that's a big struggle I'm having with the show, is that she's bratty, a know-it-all who doesn't know anything, and she's being really bad about it. And she keeps bringing up Starman being her dad so much. I'm like, I am actively rooting for you to find out it's not true. So confident about it, I want you to be wrong.
Who have you been introduced to now?
The last episode was Our Man's Son.
Okay,
and
so
then, I really like him. I really like the story about Yolanda. Both of those characters, I liked how they were fleshed out. I like their backgrounds and everything. They're really enjoyable parts of the show. It's Stargirl who I can't connect with. I keep just getting angry with her.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why she's even she's not contributing really, other than making people do things. And she does it in the worst way. She's like, hold on, let me give Our Man's Son this trinket from his father that's going to give him some special ability at a party. Just in front of all these people, let's just do that. Oh no, it's glowing. Hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do this here. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't have brought it here. Do this anywhere else.
Yeah.
Really bad.
I definitely don't disagree with you. But I don't know. I still like it.
I understand. There are things I like in that show. She is just written really bad.
Yeah.
Just written really bad. To get on board.
I do know that they have addressed kind of some of what you're saying as character flaw that I think they're going to try to actively work to. But I don't know. I only saw part 1 of a 2-parter, so.
For sure, I get you. And the last thing is, today I watched almost all of season 1 of Glow on Netflix, which has been on there for a long time.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. That's an awesome show. I'm really enjoying it.
Alison Brie, right?
Yes, Alison Brie. Really solid cast. Not what I thought it was from the start. It takes a lot of time to do character development, and I actually really appreciate it. Really enjoy it.
Nice.
And that's been my week.
Ben?
All right. I did a whole lot of stuff this week because I didn't go to work.
Strap in.
It's obviously we played a whole lot of video games. Dead by Daylight. When I told you guys that I was officially not going to work for a while until other stuff happened, that I still have my job, thank goodness, but they're like, yeah, I'd stay home until things get sorted out. I'm like, okay, don't have to tell me twice. Sparks was constantly like, hey, Ben, you know what game you should buy? I'm like, what? You should buy Dead by Daylight. I'm like, we're playing it all together.
Let's be clear. Everybody was saying that.
Everyone
was the one who was pushing hardest.
Oh, you even gave me $10 to help me buy it.
That's correct. Because it became too... I think $30 is hard for me to say, buy the basic game package. If you got, extra skins and stuff with it, I'd say, hell yeah.
The game's 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still very popular, which is why it's still somewhat expensive. But I'm glad you're.
The reason why I bought the version the way I did is because if I were to get the physical one, because all the Best Buys close to me, they didn't have a physical copy, and they were doing a sale on it.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, you can have it shipped to you. It was like, cool. When's the latest? They're like, oh, well, the soonest we could get it to you is by July 17th. I'm like, no, not happening. So I just went ahead. So I went ahead and bit the bullet because I wasn't going to wait. 2 days, sure, I could wait 2 days, but I wasn't going to wait 2 weeks until I could start playing with you guys.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So besides that, I also have been playing a whole lot more of Animal Crossing recently. I started playing when Fanny first got the game for her birthday, and I only touched it once or twice here and there. But this week was the week where I actually started playing quite a bit. I was going between Animal Crossing and Trials of Mana, And even today, Fanny woke me up. She's like, and she was handing me the Switch. She's like, "Babe, turnips. Today's turnip day. You gotta buy your turnips."
Sundays.
And I'm like, I'm like half asleep, walking around trying to find this turnip lady. And I'm like, "Where is she?" She's like, "Oh, you have to find her." I'm like, "What?
When I
have
didn't
to find this bitch? Are you serious?"
Yeah, it's not that big. When quarantine first happened and the game just came out, that was one of the ways that I was able to keep my days like I don't actually lose track of time super hard or anything, but like oh, I know Wednesday is when this guy comes, or it's always Sunday for the stock exchange, and that game was a nice like daily reminder of just doing like chores, but fun chores.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm playing a little bit more. I paid off my house, and then I decided to make it bigger, so I'm like another 190,000 bells in debt again.
Ben, it's gonna happen 10 more times.
I know it is.
You have like 5 rooms.
I know. I was talking to Fanny because Fanny, babe, is your house all paid off? Yep. Yeah, her house is all paid off, but she's been playing every day ever since the game came out. I haven't. So for me, it's like, okay, I'll just go. I've been jumping back and forth. I finished my first playthrough of Trials of Mana. I unlocked New Game Plus, and then I realized it's like, all right, because in Trials of Mana there's 6 characters in total to play as, and 2 of those characters have intertwined storylines throughout the game. Now, the thing is, you have to, because there's like their main character that you pick that you want to play it, that you're the avatar you are when you're in towns, and the one that picks first when you're out in the wild and you're fighting monsters and stuff, and you have your 2 companions. If your main character and one of your companions aren't like the 2 compatible ones, their stories aren't going to intertwine. Even if you have a main character and the 2 companions that do, it's not going to do that. And yes, Mag, I did do the fish tournament in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, it's always fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was great. I got so much money off of that. It was awesome. So I did my first playthrough, and I'm like, oh, I have to do another playthrough. So I got, so I brought in the 2 characters that I had, and the one who had those stories intertwined. But the cool thing about New Game Plus is that the 2 characters I had before are like, they're level 75. They're like max level. So every time I go fight a monster or a boss, it took me 3 hits to kill the first boss. Just no problem. I'm like, I'll take my character is overpowered for 200, Alex, and I have my one main character who haven't played through a story yet is just sitting in the back watching my other 2 characters just like wreck their shit.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a fun RPG. I really enjoy it. And one of the big things I did rewatch this weekend that I haven't finished yet is Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah,
while you were watching that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I rewatched the extended cut of Fellowship and Two Towers. Those films are masterpieces, and I haven't started Return of the King yet because the only copy of Return of the King I have is the theatrical cut. Still don't have that extended cut, but I will eventually, someday.
You just reminded me because we were talking about. I meant to bring it up earlier. I did watch a movie. It's come out for a while, but just rewatching, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really enjoyable. Wonder Woman.
Oh
yeah, Wonder Woman again.
I heard of it
the other day, and still holds up. Still great.
Yeah, I think that was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben. Go ahead. Oh, and the other thing was, I saw on your Instagram thing that you were watching Lord of the Rings, and I was like, because you kept like posting little snippets of it, and and Megan was like, "What are you going through?" And I'm like, "Oh, Ben's posting Lord of the Rings," and she's like, "Oh, he's watching Lord of the Rings again." Doesn't he do that like every month?
No, not every month. Like watch Lord of the Rings every month?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
From her perspective, you watch Lord of the Rings is the joke.
I wish I did, but no.
Those movies are too long. There's not enough time to watch them all.
You should put them on like other people put on Friends in the Office.
Yeah.
Except
constant circulation.
Those movies are on our posters. The scratch off movie posters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I still need to watch
anything because Ben and Fanny can't come over.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah. And also we agreed for the Lord of the Rings that's the extended cut that we need to watch all of them. I still have never seen Return of the King extended cut.
Well, when we have 7 hours, we'll definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean, I have them all.
I know you do.
I don't have them in Blu-ray though.
Oh, I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want them in Blu-ray. I've been wanting them in Blu-ray. That's the only way I could get Return of the King extended cut is on Blu-ray now because I can't find the DVD anywhere else.
You don't want DVD.
You don't want DVDs anymore.
We live in live in
No,
the
I want the Blu-rays. I want the Blu-ray extended cuts. I want those so bad. But besides Lord of the Rings, I also watched End of Evangelion in preparation for our 200th episode.
For the first time or again?
First time.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you'd
Yeah.
already done that.
Nope, I watched it.
What you watching? Sorry, I got an important thing. It just
End of
popped up.
Evangelion.
End of Evangelion.
Oh, it's End of Evangelion. He did tell me that.
Yeah, that's confusing. We'll talk about it more, but
Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some stuff to unpack there.
Dang, I thought you'd already done that for sure.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice seeing a different side of the story, but at the same time, I'm watching. Once I get to the end, I'm like, what just happened?
I can't wait till next week, guys.
Don't worry. Papa will explain everything.
Yeah, just for you guys know, next week is our 200th episode. We had plans to do it in person, but sadly, we cannot.
The world.
Sadly, a whole lot of people in our state just don't take the coronavirus seriously, so we can't justify it.
Yeah.
Nope.
So we are going to be doing another video episode, but it will be episode 200. We're going to be talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion. Sorry, my phone's blowing up.
It's true.
For
Only the series and End of Evangelion, and technically Death and Rebirth, because that is the director's cut episode. So
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into our bread and butter.
Was that it for you, Ben?
Yeah, that pretty much was.
BBs.
Nice.
Bread and
Yeah.
butter.
Did you guys read my headlines?
I did.
No.
Do you have any questions for me, Ben?
Why do you name them like that? Because
I'm losing my mind.
No, since you're bringing this up, wait, I have to bring up something. Since you're bringing up, did you guys read my headlines? I send you funny emails every time I send you a picture, and you never say anything about them. Every time I make a joke.
That's fine. That's true. I'm only saying I'm losing my mind because for those of you guys at home, when I write the rundown, I used to do a thing called.
Is that the thing to Gilligan's Island?
It's the theme song to Gilligan's Island. So when I used to write the rundown for weeks now, I've been writing we got like a miscellaneous section of like things that don't necessarily belong in like its own like little block, but things we should talk about. And I would say, and the rest, because the first season of the Gilligan's Island theme song doesn't end with the Professor and Marianne. It ends with and the rest. I think that's hilarious. So this week I just became insane, and the headlines are just with Gilligan, the skipper too, a millionaire and his wife, and it's just the whole theme. It's just the end of the Gilligan's Island theme song.
So when I looked up the Google Drive to watch the trailers today, and I saw that, I'm like, what the hell? The Gilligan skipper. It took me till like just a few minutes ago to realize that this is from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind, guys. All right, let's do it. So we after that fun little anecdote that I'm sure nobody cares about. We have some sad news, but Ennio, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing.
Yeah.
Morricone.
Nope. Sorry.
I couldn't hear because I was talking at the same time, so I didn't hear what.
For sure. Go ahead.
Ennio Morricone.
He passed away. He was a famous Italian film composer. He passed away at the age of 91 due to complications from a fall that caused a hip fracture. Coincidentally, that's actually how my grandmother passed away. So I know how that can become a big issue, especially at that age.
He is arguably, I wouldn't say a film composer. I would say arguably the most famous film composer, maybe that regular people know. Next to John Williams and stuff.
I was going to say, I think John Williams is the only person who was possibly more famous than him.
But this dude's been doing it for 20 years longer than John Williams.
I mean, he might not even be famous by name because I mentioned it to Megan when it happened, and I'm like, oh, that's really sad.
Okay,
and she was like, well, who is he? And I'm like, he's a really famous film composer. And she's like, would I know anything? And I went, bah, wow, wow, wow. And she's like, oh no, he died.
Yeah,
and I'm like, everybody knows it.
Yeah. Rephrase. You might not know him, but you've absolutely heard his work.
Music.
He's been composing for 50 years in Hollywood, some of the most famous movies of all time.
You worked with Tarantino?
What was that?
You worked with Tarantino?
Yeah, he did John Carpenter's The Thing. Love it.
He's done a lot of incredible film work. He leaves such a massive body of great music. Lived a long life, nothing to be ashamed of.
I think he was, I think he was kind of still working, maybe not full time,
was
still working up until the end.
Oh yeah, I remember that like he was still working on stuff I'd heard 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, dang, still?
Yeah.
He's still doing it? Yeah. That man worked hard.
He had a passion.
Incredible, iconic soundtracks.
Yes.
Okay. So, it's a big loss to the film composing community, really is. So we do have some COVID pushbacks. Some more movies. This time, our horror movies are leaving the year. So Halloween's canceled?
I'm pissed if it is. No.
So Candyman. We knew that Candyman was pushed from its June 12th release date, but it has now been dated again to October 16th, 2020. So it is going to try and come out this year in October.
Anybody want to take any bets on February next year?
I'm willing to take that money.
I'll take that bet.
I think that's probably what's
Hey,
going to happen.
when's Tenet coming out?
August in theaters only.
Yeah,
Christopher.
man.
Come on, Christopher.
I think Christopher Nolan's going to force the theaters to open.
Cool. I hope Tenet's worth it.
I mean, I think realistically, they're just going to keep incrementally pushing that date back. We're going to watch everything else take giant leaps, but Tenet will always go like 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Until it can be the first movie that gets people back into theaters. Darn it, they're going to just keep inching that line.
Inception is just keeps trailing behind it.
At this point, he's going for the record for the most announced release dates.
It's got to be soon, and that movie's like 4 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Nia DaCosta's Candyman coming out October 16th.
Oh, okay, Mag.
Yeah, right. For real.
I'll see that raise. Yeah. Who knows? Wear your mask. Buy Fake Nerd Podcast mask. Link in the description. We sold a couple. We still have some more.
That's true.
Link in the description. All right. And Halloween Kills was pushed from its October 16, 2020 date to October 15, 2021. So pushed an entire year.
That's
which means also its sequel was pushed an entire year.
So that's
Halloween Ends was pushed from October 15, 2021 to October 14, 2022.
So we got a quick little tease, which is cute. I kind of wish we didn't even get that because this movie is 15 months away.
Mm-hmm.
That is so insanely far away that it's a cute little scene, but I'm like, wow, this movie must be almost done then if you're showing us stuff.
It definitely was.
That's what I mean. It's like 15 months is such a long time.
Don't even think about that movie. Think about the movie that you already saw that we can't talk about. That's not coming out until like 3 years after you saw it.
God, that's so crazy.
Which you said was already pretty much done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Anyway.
You never told us what that was.
I've told you guys multiple times.
Have you told Ben and I? I know you told Sparks.
I definitely mentioned it multiple times.
We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Halloween Kills teaser trailer did drop. It's a little clip. I loved it. It got me so hyped.
Yeah.
For that movie.
That's exactly why I'm mad, because it got me so hyped for 15 months from now.
That is kind of the upsetting thing, is because it's like, that's cool. This is probably like
this is what video games do all the time.
This is a trailer. This is a video game teaser, I was going to say.
And we see it in 4 years.
Yeah.
It still looks great. Cool. I can't wait to see it in a year and a half.
We knew that the Forever Purge was pushed from its July 10th, 2020 release date. It would have been this weekend. But now it's been redated to July 9th, 2021.
Didn't give us a trailer, so
baby, that never had any marketing. It's crazy.
That's so crazy that they announced the push now when that movie was supposed to come out now.
Right? Yeah, we knew it was taken off that date, but we didn't know for what.
Yeah.
And then Monster Hunter, guys, I'm so sad about Monster Hunter.
It's been
pushed September 4th, 2020 to April 23rd, 2021.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Asher, I know you love Monster Hunter. Hey man, it's the guy who made Resident Evil movies. Those are dumb fun. That's all I can hope for a Monster Hunter movie. I'm not going to go watch The Godfather. I'm going to see
my
fight
problem,
monsters.
My problem between the posters and the clip and not the clips, but the images we've seen this week, it looks really cheap.
I mean, to be fair, when we saw the Terminator Salvation pictures and they're just firing like this, that, I don't think that's a good indication. That movie is a huge.
I understand, but when I'm looking at that, and I know Paul W. Anderson hasn't had anything resembling a big budget in years, so I can kind of see they picked Paul W. Anderson because they wanted to make it cheaper.
Oh, 100%.
I think for me, the thing that's got me the most about Monster Hunters. I'm like, this just doesn't feel like the aesthetic I want.
Yeah.
From how vibrant the world of that game is.
But
This feels very.
we've literally seen nothing from it, so I don't know what it looks like. I can't say that. We've seen one picture of them in the desert. I don't know what it looks like.
Sure.
It's not fair.
Well, we have the new picture with her with the dual blades, which was also in a desert.
Also in the desert, yes. I'm gonna give me a trailer before I shit all over it because
I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying like, woo.
No,
This
yeah.
is the thing
I'm not praising it. I'm just saying I can't hate it without literally knowing anything about it.
It's like I'm not saying I hate it either. But it's like, you know, it's like I'm still criticizing Uncharted for casting Mark Wahlberg as Sully. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what he's going to do in it, but I still think it's not a good choice.
It's true. You're right.
But I'm not hating on it. I'm just criticizing what I've seen, what I know.
Yeah,
I feel you. I've played a Monster Hunter game where there's a desert involved, so for me, it looks exactly what it looks. Exactly what it looks like. So I'm gonna wait for a trailer, and it's probably still gonna be bad though. So
we'll see. Paul W. Sanderson directed Pompeii, and that was a great movie.
That's a lie.
All right, man. I shouldn't have done this. I don't know what these topics are. A millionaire. The CW has found and cast their new Batwoman in Javicia Leslie. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. She is an African-American actress from God Friended Me, most recently, which is a CW TV series, aired for 2 seasons. And she's a self-proclaimed out bisexual, taking on the role of Batwoman, of Ruby Wilder.
Yeah.
Ryan Wilder.
Ryan Wilder.
I was going to say Ruby. They're taking Ruby's
No,
room.
no.
That'd be
weird. That'd be weird.
Boy.
Yeah.
Ryan Wilder as Batwoman.
I mean, no disrespect to this actress at all. I still hate the whole idea.
Yeah.
I still don't love that in the casting process, they didn't care about ethnicity, which to me says, at least for the first half of the season when they're working on stuff, there's not going to be anything relevant about the fact that Batwoman's suddenly black, which it should be. It shouldn't be colorblind. If Batwoman suddenly changes, Gotham City should have a reaction to that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it will be, because it's not like they were casting with the intention of telling a specific story. I'm sure they'll at some point pivot to doing that, but it won't be an initial reaction that Gotham should have to this.
Yeah.
I expect. I don't know. They're not in production yet. Who knows? Things can change. But even still, just the idea of wiping out Kate Kane, I don't like from that universe. It's your whole supporting cast being based around that character. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I don't see this as a smart move.
Yeah.
Oh, we said that when we talked about
for sure. And this is still where I'm at. And I'm glad that it's I'm glad that it's a black and out actress. That's awesome. In the context of what that means for representation. I think that's great. What sucks is the whole concept behind it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I wish there were a cleaner way. I wish Ruby Rose were going to be back for some kind of passing of the torch if we were doing this.
Yeah.
At least, something to acknowledge that Kate is doing something else.
Yeah.
It feels like, again, because I haven't watched the shows besides the first episode, but Batman's he's missing, right? Is that
Bruce Wayne's missing, except some stuff happened in the season finale to kind of tease. Bruce Wayne isn't coming back, but Gotham thinks Bruce Wayne is back.
Okay.
Because somebody else is. I'm just going to tell you guys. It's Tommy Elliott. Tommy Elliott is pretending to be Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is the season was about Bruce Wayne / Batman's missing, and now the second season is now Batwoman's missing, and it's it seems almost like a repeat of just what you just did.
For sure.
I'm like that.
And how is everybody in Kate's life not going to be reacting to the fact that Kate's just gone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That feels so. It's very hard for me to see an engaging and good show that's basically restarting itself at the second season.
Yeah. It's a strange thing to just be we have to basically do this first season again.
Season 1.1.
Also, Kate had a love interest in the first season. And I'm wondering, they're not going to just suddenly make her fall in love with new Batwoman.
Oh, that'd be
really stupid. So that actress probably is off the show, or at least severely minimized because she's not going to be as relevant.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
I agree. Stargirl has been renewed for a second season on the CW.
Cool, man. People like that show.
we saw this happening when the CW bought the show from the DC universe.
I didn't.
About the rights of the first season.
Yeah. I didn't think that they would. I didn't think that they would turn into a show that's solely relied on the CW budget.
Yeah.
There's another thing where I'm like, I don't think that audience is going to transfer. Whatever audience it is, I think once you put it on the CW, they're not going to get. Frankly, with the Batwoman change and the Superman and Lois show coming, we're hitting critical mass on the superhero shows on the CW.
Mm-hmm.
And like, not everyone's going to keep up watching on those network shows.
Yeah,
especially with all the other content that's still out there.
I mean, we all bowed out already.
Both DC, except for me, yeah.
No, yes, I mean, yeah.
And even I'm like, I don't think every single one of these is gonna stick around in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And not even all the other content like The Boys or other superhero kind of shows that are out there, but just in DC, there's so much other content that they're competing with that exists on HBO Max /DC Universe now.
Yeah.
And I just don't see a world where Stargirl with a severely cut budget survives well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the budget for that first season is fairly large. I think we'll see
very curious how they're going to afford Luke Wilson and make him go to Vancouver.
They lost Lockhart that way.
No, can't win situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't see Luke Wilson just being like, yeah, I live in Vancouver now half the time. He's got family here. Like, I can't see him doing it.
Is Joel McHale still on the show a lot?
No.
Because I would say he probably wouldn't do it either.
I could see him like going to Vancouver for a single episode or something if he had to. Yeah. But Luke Wilson is the harder one to convince me that
he's in it a lot.
That he'll lift up. Yeah, he's in every episode a lot. That he'll just up and move his life up to Vancouver. A lot of these other actors, like, they're younger. They need the career push, so they'll do it. They'll go do that kind of thing. But I can't see him doing it.
Yeah.
They lost Ruby Rose after one season of Vancouver.
Right.
Yeah. I think I'm surprised that Stripe is in the show as little as he is. Not Luke Wilson, but like Stripe.
No, I know what you're saying. I kind of appreciate it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, but
so far, like, go ahead.
No, my point is, I think we're gonna slash that character even more because the budget just won't be able to handle it.
Oh, the robot's broken. Oops.
Yeah,
the robot's broken again this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to picture that show with the CW budget functioning the same.
Yeah,
sure.
especially with the stunts and the practical wand.
The other thing is that, like, that is clearly like a set town.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do that if they have to move production to
Vancouver.
Man,
they're just going to do what's her name? Whitney? Is that her name, Whitney?
Courtney.
Oh, we're moving. We got to move to Canada for some reason. The
Injustice Society has a second town that they've been secretly hiding in.
Quebec is under attack. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah. Well, it was because of my memory of Supergirl, because like it's like a city base. Did it drastically change the look of the show too? Or could you tell? Yeah,
you can tell, but I mean, like, it's not in like a set dressing way.
Yeah,
they were able to recreate what sets they had before pretty well.
Yeah,
it's more in just a like style of effects, lighting, that kind of thing. Like, you can see the budget dip down in that department. But what I'm saying is, like, Supergirl's set was pretty easy to replicate. They're filming in like a town in the middle of the country. That's here in the States. Like, if that, and I'm only guessing, like, maybe they can afford to keep doing that here, even though they're switching to CW, maybe. But most CW shows all had to switch to Vancouver because of the budget change. They all film there now, so I would assume Stargirl has to run that same route. And if that's the case, I can't see how they're going to address the fact that they're filming in a town set up specifically for a visual that they can't just recreate. They can't recreate all these buildings and locales that they've been filming at. Yeah. It's very specific. It's very specifically American in architecture.
Looks like Courtney's going to Canada.
Anyway, so DC Universe is dying.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
As long as Doom Patrol has a home, that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully Harley Quinn season 2 gets picked up by HBO Max.
Yeah.
Season 3, sorry. Splash Comics says, hello, sir.
Hello. Man, I know like all those DC shows are like critically and like the fans love it. Like almost all of them are.
You mean like the ones on DC Universe?
Yes. Yeah. Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, except for Swamp Thing because that was kind of dead in the water already. But like people love all these shows
because they killed it, not because of audience, but because they killed it in the water.
So like I'd like to imagine HBO knows that they have a good thing there. Doom Patrol and Harley, like 2 seasons of excellent content. Keep what you have, like don't throw it away.
Yeah.
I'm
very curious. I'm very curious. We're kind of going to get to it in the news soon. I'm very curious how much HBO Max is going to stay committed to. I think they're committed to Doom Patrol, but how much they're going to stay committed to some of the other stuff that's going to carry over from DC Universe, because they're very much setting themselves up as a new connected DC Universe of shows.
Yeah.
In a way, it feels like.
Oh yeah, Harley's on Sci-Fi too. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's a weird one because that is a rated R show. Very violent.
Yeah. I will get there when we get there, for sure. But it does leave me very curious. Like, I think some of these are sitting in a weird, precarious limbo right now.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely wondering, like, is Titans moving to HBO Max, or is Titans being forced to the CW? Because I can't see it making it to the CW.
I don't think
they haven't renewed it, so I'm sure they're still discussing.
I know. That's another situation where I can't see the actors going. I can't see them recreating the budget for it properly on the CW. I can't see it, so it's got to go to Max.
Yeah. Also, like it's totally it couldn't be on CW. It's too violent and too.
No, they'd have to change it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They'd have to change it.
HBO baby, just take it all.
All right, stop me if you've heard this one.
Okay.
There's a Batman prequel series set.
I heard it.
Yeah, go ahead. You asked us.
Heard it.
Yeah, so HBO Max is developing a prequel series to Matt Reeves' The Batman, with Matt Reeves producing, and Terrence Winter, who was the showrunner for Boardwalk Empire, is the showrunner for this. It'll be set. So it's a Gotham PD procedural. That's the first thing we heard, and then we got confirmation from Variety that it is in fact a prequel to The Batman to show how Gotham City became corrupt and infested with villains.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, to me, this confirms in my mind that all the other HBO Max shows we've kind of been getting rumors about or have had confirmed, like the Aquaman show, Justice League Dark, all of these are going to be connecting into larger things. That's the goal. That's why they're putting people who are already working on the movies attached to them. Like, his name's escaping me. Aquaman director.
Oh, James Wan.
Thank you. James Wan working on the Aquaman show very specifically. That is meant to be the next piece of Aquaman's film stuff. They want to flesh out the world of the films on HBO Max. They want it to connect. She's talking about the Themyscira, Amazon
animated show and a movie,
right?
Like multiple things. Like they're trying to flesh out the shit out of this.
I believe the crap out of that. I believe this is what Jim Lee wants. I believe that's what Warner Brothers wants, is HBO Max to be a prestige service of expanding the world of their films.
Yeah.
And the DC Comics is where they're going to start with that.
Yeah.
This makes a lot of sense to me. And the Batman show getting Matt Reeves, I'm like, oh, this is definitely what they want to do with all of them.
So this is the show that everyone wanted when Gotham was announced.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's the Greg Rucka, Ed Brubaker run Gotham Central. Classic, excellent run. It's all about the cops, and Batman is in it just a teeny bit. You see him in a shadow, or you see him lurking, talking to Gordon, but like Batman is not essential to it. That's the problem that I always have with Gotham, is like it might as well have just been a Batman show, because every villain's there. Batman shows up at the end, like he's there.
What Gotham was, especially because I stopped watching it, I want to say around season 2. What Gotham was, it was like Smallville. It was Smallville, but Batman.
Yes.
I mean,
I wouldn't even give it that kind of credit, because it was really Smallville. If Smallville was about Perry White, or I guess Lois or something. Like if a small focus was actually supposed to be about Lois Lane, not Clark. That's kind of what it's like.
Yeah, Bruce was so central to Gotham for some reason. Like, I guess if you really just want to build up your Batman story, but like Gotham Central, it's about Gordon. It's about Gordon's cops. And I know the world's in turmoil, and a lot of people on Twitter are like, "Wow, do we really need another cop show right now?" And like, sure, no, I get it, but it's not cops on TBS. It's the comic book Batman universe. You calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I wanted. Like I said, when that Gotham show was announced, like this is a dope idea. I love the ground scale. It's the Star Trek Lower Decks of the Batman universe. This is what I want. The people on the ground floor dealing with
the only thing that gives me pause, and yeah, I'm totally in agreement. Like, I want the Gotham Central show. The only thing that gives me pause is that it's a prequel set before Batman shows up.
Yeah.
And I find Gotham Central more interesting when Batman's in the background, not when he's just not there in the city.
Does it mean that Batman doesn't exist, or just
that's what they said. It's Batman is not here.
It's setting up Gotham and how it got to became the version Batman has to fight against.
Okay.
It is straight up. It is a prequel.
Okay.
Yeah. How far back it's going, we don't know much details, but like I got to imagine Jim Gordon's in it. I got to imagine Jeffrey Wright is the main star in this HBO Max show. That sounds awesome. Let's move from Westworld to Batman, baby.
No, they haven't said that's for sure, but it's pretty much a given.
If it's exactly. If it's directly tied to the Reeves movie, and it's in that universe with Reeves directing it or being attached to it, it stars those people. It gets at least the Gotham characters or the. Sorry,
we don't know how far back in Batman's career the Batman is. We've heard rumors that Gordon's Captain Gordon, not Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
So that even determines like how far back this could go with like what characters could be introduced. There's a little overlap with Gotham, the show Gotham in that way, but the team, there's a good team on this one, whereas I didn't really care for the team on Gotham. So
that and also like you already know there's strong payoff to it because this is all this is really character development, fleshing out not just characters but a city.
Yeah.
To make Gotham really feel like something in the movie. And I'm all about it. That's what I want. Look, this is the smartest thing DC can do. This is the best way for Warner Brothers to compete with the fact that the MCU has now jumped to Disney Plus for doing the same shtick. And this is the best way for them to do it, especially if they're embracing. Sometimes it can be animated, but it's still Jason Momoa's Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's still that same character. It's still rolling out that story. That's the smartest way that they can do this, and it's the best use of HBO Max I've heard of so far.
Yeah. Ben, tell me what you think about it real quick.
When I first heard that they're doing another Gotham show, I was just like, again, because we already did that, and let's be honest, it wasn't that good. The first season was cool, and then just jumped the shark from there. But the way that
the Killer Shark.
Essentially, yeah.
They never brought in Killer Shark, so I won't allow that.
Okay, all right.
But the old Gotham show had promise. It did not deliver on those promises. It did not. That's the wrong way to say it. Let's just say it had potential. It didn't live up to it.
Yeah.
The potential ended when a Fox executive was like, "When does Batman show up?"
Exactly.
For me, like a lot of it comes down to I just have so much more faith in tighter form television storytelling at this point, which I assume, much as like anything else on HBO, this will be less than 13 episodes or whatever, and involving the movie's cast and everything. That's great. Gotham was the kind of thing where they were stretching out story to keep up with network time. Some of the things that the CW shows suffer from too.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that Black Lightning remains the best of the CW shows, in my opinion, is because it's never given a full 22, 23 episode season. It works with less than 16. And because of that, all the storytelling is much, much tighter. And so knowing that for this, I already have more faith in it, regardless of the fact that it's attached to the movies and everything, which makes me more excited. Knowing that you're trying to tell a story in only a fewer amount of episodes makes me believe that's going to be more impactful.
Matt Reeves himself, the director of The Batman, is going to be heavily involved in this. Makes me happy because he's going to obviously take stuff from the TV show, put them into this movie, and it's going to be this nice cohesive tissue that we as DC fans have been yearning for ever since the Marvel films started doing their thing.
Yeah. And this shares a similarity with Dune because Dune has a big ass movie coming out and a sister show on HBO Max. So it looks like Warner Brother is all about synergy, and I like it.
I'll tell you what, I really hope John Turturro's all up in this show.
Oh,
me too.
All right,
I really hope so.
Okay.
Oh my god, yeah, he would have to be. Oh
right?
yeah, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Unless he dies in the movie. No, even then, it's a prequel.
No, it's a prequel. That's what I'm saying. Like you can make me give so much more of a crap about this thug villain.
Yeah.
Because of this show. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Hey, question. Really random question. Is Pennyworth still going, or did that get canceled?
It had its first season, and I just don't think anybody watched it. So I think
the second season. I think the second season has aired.
I don't know. I've never heard of a cancellation announcement.
Exactly.
Though.
Yeah, I said heard nothing about it. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Epics.
Yeah. I'm super stoked for the Batman. You know what I would love? I would love for McGregor's Sionis to show up for just a moment.
Oh, please.
Stopped into Gotham. Make
Although
that you, baby.
Oh, shit, dude. Totally. It's a prequel, 100%.
It's a prequel. It works. It totally works.
I mean, that That would be difficult, whether or not Matt Reeves' Batman is even in the DCEU.
I know.
They want it to be.
It'd be so fun.
Ben Affleck is still the Batman of the DCEU.
Not if they ignore Justice League. It's not.
So for the show Pennyworth, season 2 was confirmed October 2019 and began filming January 2020. And then I'm assuming production stopped because of COVID.
I'm still COVID made it stop. Okay.
All right. Speaking of comics, we got some comics news.
I like them.
Coming out in October are 2 prestige one-shots to celebrate Halloween. Legends of the Swamp Thing Halloween Spectacular #1, which reads, DC invites you to welcome Swamp Thing to your witching festivities. In this 48-page collection of 6 all-new stories, the Guardian of the Green reveals past lives and the unforgettable horrors that befall those who cross his path. From ancient Rome to present day, Swamp Thing stalks these ghostly and ghastly tales, all of which are best read by the light of a jack-o'-lantern.
Heck yeah, baby. And you know who's writing it?
Tom King, James Tynion IV, Vita Ayala, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Ram V, Domo Stanton on art, Mike Perkins on art, Emma Rios on art, and Christian Ward on art.
So a lot of those artists have not worked at DC because a lot of them are Bendis and Matt Fraction homies. Because Emma Rios did did a book with Kelly Sue DeConnick for Image, and Christian Ward did a book for Marvel and with Bendis. So this is great. Emma Rios and Christian Ward are some awesome artists, and they are going to bring such flair to Swamp Thing. This is right now like my most excited book because you guys know about Swamp Thing, but that creative team is so baller. Thank you, DC. Thank you for caring.
Yeah. And then DC, The Doomed and the Damned, which is the next one, and which reads, it was a dark and stormy night when the creatures of the DC universe began to emerge from their lairs into the cool evening air. Tales of the macabre, the murderous, and the morbid abound in the spine-chilling special about monsters and mayhem. What happens when Batman encounters a true urban legend after speaking its name 3 times in the mirror? Or when Madame Xanadu enlists the help of Man-Bats to take down a shadowy specter? And who can stop an intergalactic demon from turning people into frog beasts? Only the unlikely team-up of Green Lantern and Etrigan. All this and 7 more fantastic tales to trick your treats and bob your apples.
Guys, the DC Halloween specials are always pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
I always like these things.
Yeah.
They do like Valentine's Day ones too. They're good about that stuff.
The writing duties on this one, there's more, but the article, the main press release lists these writers: Cameron Mary Machado, Marv Wolfman, Ken Porter, John Arcudi, Saladin Ahmad, Alyssa Wong, Travis Moore, Riley Rosmo, Mike Perkins, Leonardo Menko, Travis Moore on art. He wrote, the last Travis Moore was writing, this Travis Moore is art, same guy. Tom Mandrake, and there's more, but we don't know who they are.
Let's hope Halloween still happens. I mean, the comics are going to happen, but let's hope the event still happens.
Let's hope the actual holiday is safe for us to go out and have some fun.
Spookalicious.
It's on a Saturday. It's daylight savings time. We get an extra hour at 2 a.m.
Oh, baby.
Just the fact that it's on a Saturday this year makes me happy.
Oh, we're going to have sex. Oh, man, we're going to get so ghouly. Oh, man.
Brian just got more excited as that went along.
Yeah. I didn't know it was on Saturday. That's really exciting.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is, but
it is. It's a full moon. It's everything.
And it's a full moon?
Yeah, apparently. Don't get Jack Nicholson. Okay. And his wife, which was Marvel. So Marvel has announced that they are going to backtrack their digital move. You know, we talked about a lot how multiple series finales were just shunted to digital only, be collected in trade, but not in a single issue format. Ghost Spider, Star, others that are escaping me right now. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep. And a couple of ongoings.
Marvel has announced that they will be publishing all of those in the next 2 months.
Heck yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
They should.
So I am getting my last 2 issues of Ghost Spider after all.
That's
Which
good.
sadly doesn't change the fact that it's canceled, but
yeah,
here we are.
Yeah.
But at least you have a full physical collection and not just a tiny little bit of it.
That's all I asked
This
for.
also means that Valkyrie is likely to be able to keep going.
Man, I hope
Because
so.
it was an ongoing, but it was being switched to digital only. Now it's back to being published.
Apparently, what had happened was nobody bought the digital comics. They just did not sell.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, so they want to get those. They want to get the money for those issues by putting them in comic book stores because they're guaranteed money, at least from the distributor.
Heck yeah!
Right.
I want to buy those books. Let me do it. Thank you.
And with the last 2 Ghost Spiders.
Yes.
And then Marvel has teamed up with Scholastic for another time. Scholastic team ups kept Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur and Miss Marvel printed for so long. They are wonderful partners of Marvel, but they have teamed up once again for a line of original graphic novels aimed at young readers. So similar to what DC did with DC Kids. Miles Morales Shockwaves is the first one. This was about Miles Morales, obviously written by Justin A. Reynolds with art by Pablo Leon. I'm not familiar with either of those names. Ryan, are you?
Nope.
No.
This is like young adult stuff, so I don't think
they're
in our demographic.
Sure. Future releases will consist of stories with Shuri and Miss Marvel, written by Roseanne A. Brown and Nadia Shamas, respectively. So that's really cool. This Miles Morales book follows Miles as he attempts to juggle his studies at Brooklyn Visions Academy with his superheroic responsibilities as Spider-Man. However, when a devastating earthquake hits his mother's homeland of Puerto Rico, Miles sets up a fundraiser in an effort to offer relief to those affected. Things take an unexpected turn when a new student's father goes missing and Miles discovered the company sponsoring his fundraiser has something to do with the disappearance.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Dude, man, I remember those like Scholastic book fairs when I was a kid. Like, I would have killed for this kind of thing. Absolutely.
Scholastic book fairs were the best.
Yeah.
Go, you walk
I
in
made
there,
my mom buy
$20
many
and mom's
books
reading
that I didn't read.
Oh yeah, I like the coloring stuff.
I bought a lot of Star Wars books. Actually, I bought
a little box right next to the book, and they say, "Check this if you want it." It's like, well, sure.
Of course, I want that.
Did you guys also get book orders as well? Like every month, a new book order would come in. That's how I got my Calvin Hobbes collection, was through those.
Nice. But yeah, I think this is a great way to get young readers into Marvel Comics. The cover art is very much kind of bouncing off of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, because I think they know that there is a large market for fans of that design, or just, you're going to associate one with the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's smart.
Yep. Super cute.
Donny Cates, our Lord and Savior, has announced his next event book, King in Black. This is it, guys. Null has come.
Null's coming so hard, you guys. They definitely should have checked on that marketing. Oh my god, that was gross.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Null is coming.
White goo. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, Marvel, come on. So
and apparently Null in like Swedish means FUCK.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he is a bad man, so I mean,
yeah.
I get it.
But this is it, guys. The King in Black Null himself, the Venom symbiote, the symbiote god, has come to Earth, is going to fight the X-Men and the Avengers and Venom all in this massive big thing with art by Ryan Stegman. And that's really all we know. They just made an announcement. Hey, this book is coming in December. Get excited.
Yeah, it's been like an over 2 year buildup now for this guy, and that's really cool that he's been able to weave not just his Venom story, but like he started working on Thor and doing stuff from like Jason Aaron's run and introducing that, like just weaving this cool cosmic story between all his books. And then we're finally getting to the big bad boy. See what he's about.
And I think he's only halfway done with his run.
Yeah, because I got into not an argument. I just got into a discussion on Twitter. And like, does anybody know how long he said his Venom run's going to go for? And I was like, I remember him saying he has ideas for up to 200 issues, but I don't think this market can support that. And then he said, yes, it can. He responded saying, yes, it can. So he has
himself.
Yes, I mean, dude, Twitter, everyone responds. Like, it's very easy.
Our Lord and Savior has touched you.
Yes. But yeah, like he says he has 200 issues planned, so I believe it. Let's hope. That's why I disagreed with it, because I'm like, there are no comic runs that get that high anymore. Like we're in Batman's up to like 94 or whatever, and that's awesome. But like that's probably going to get relaunched eventually. So like if he can get to 200, that'd be dope. I would love to have a 200 issue comic run again.
Yeah, I know. I think when he talked about it on Word Bubble ages ago when he first started, I think he said 50 at first, but then that number jumped. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm excited though. I want to read every single bit of it.
Yeah.
I've not been disappointed so far.
Ballooned up. Yeah.
A movie star, which is this. Other things. This is miscellaneous, guys. This is and the rest. All right. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the comic book adaptation, is going on its 4th season this year, has been canceled by Netflix.
And so was Katie Keene, yeah.
Katie Keene, which is the other Archie spinoff of Riverdale, was also canceled by the CW.
Poor Lucy Hale can't get a CW show past a season.
Oh, Lucy Hale.
Huh?
Who's Lucy Hale?
She's the actress playing Katie Keene.
She's Katie Keene.
Oh, but what else she's been in?
She just had a show like a year or two ago where she was like a cancer survivor, and she thought she was terminal, and then turned out that it all went away. So she's like trying to refigure out how she wants to live because she was planning to die, and that didn't get past the season.
Wow.
And then before that, she was on Pretty Little Liars.
There's a Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley Netflix show that's the exact same plot, but it's a comedy where he was like, oh no, my girlfriend broke up with me and I found out I have cancer, so he uses that to get back with her, but then he finds out he doesn't have cancer, and he just pretends to still have cancer. Yeah. And it's just the slippery slope of a liar, and it's great.
So Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, perhaps now the showrunner will have enough time to finish the comic book.
Yes.
Did you see where he said, man, it's such a shame because if we got into the 5th season, we were going to cross over with Riverdale.
Yeah.
See if that works.
Yeah. I kind of wish that had happened because I feel like it would have justified Riverdale's weirdness.
Yeah.
Now nothing can.
Nope.
I feel like that show so hard.
I really enjoyed that comic. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina comic. I wished he would have kept going.
Did we finish the 1st season?
I'm not sure.
I didn't. I meant to. Like, Azara kept going with it. She really likes it. I liked what I saw. I just didn't keep up with it.
Yeah, same with Fanny. When Fanny told me the other day that Sabrina got canceled, I'm like, oh, that sucks. She's like, yeah, I love that show.
I mean, 4 seasons ain't nothing to laugh at.
No, it's nothing to do that.
Yeah.
Especially with how few Netflix shows get 7 seasons.
Yeah.
4 seasons. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Peter Pan and Wendy. Yeah, poor Sabrina. Peter Pan and Wendy, the Peter Pan remake coming from Disney, is looking at Jude Law for Captain Hook.
Another one?
Yep.
They keep just pumping them out, don't they?
We're there now. Next up is Snow White.
Jude Law. Is there just like a wheel that like this Hollywood spins like who's going to be our bad guy this time for Jude Law? All right, cool. Whatever.
Maybe.
Sure.
I like Orlando Bloom.
I like Jude Law fine. This sounds like the most bland choice.
Yeah, like I like Jude Law too. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Jude Law's cool, but I don't know, just because I love Hook too much. But no one can do a live action than Dustin Hoffman as Hook.
Well, no one's ever going to top that performance. But the goal shouldn't be to top it, but to do something different. But I don't think Jude Law's going to do anything very different from his performance in Captain Marvel. Look, I just don't think it's going to be that different.
Yeah.
Well, this is the remake of, if this is in fact a true remake to the original, then Captain Hook's probably going to be goofy, wacky Captain Hook from that animated movie.
No, yeah, for sure, because Jafar was totally like Jafar in Aladdin.
Well, Jafar was boring as shit. So let's only hope that they actually...
That's my point. Jude Law is the most boring choice I can think of for Captain Hook right now. This is interesting.
What do you think about Orlando Bloom?
More interesting than Law.
Remember he tried to be a villain with Three Musketeers?
I feel like he's hungrier for like attention that he'll do something weird.
Yeah.
Jude Law doesn't need to do anything weird, so he won't.
Yeah.
Well, remember Orlando Bloom tried to rebrand as a villain in Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers.
Yeah, the Three Musketeers with James Corden. Orlando Bloom's the bad guy with Mila Jovovich as his.
Oh, the Paul W.S. Anderson Three Musketeers movie. Got it. Oh.
But Orlando Bloom's the villain in that. I think he's really good, and I wish he had kept going with villain roles. I think that's something that he could be interested in unlocking, that other side of his performance.
Okay, you know what?
Wait, why was Orlando Bloom brought up? Was he also in the running or something? Or
no, he just watched Pirates of the Caribbean recently, and he was a pirate.
Okay.
No. Ryan said that that they don't have something about not having range to play a villain. Like you're not going to do something crazy. You're not going to do something weird. And I thought, Orlando Bloom rebranded tried to do that. So I thought,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Look, this sounds super weird, but if you're trying to be faithful to the Disney animated film, I got your Captain Hook for you. It's Steve Carell.
That'd be silly.
Ooh.
He's like short and stocky. Yeah.
He's old,
Yeah.
and he can do the trying to be young. He can do the goofy part. He can do the serious parts.
And
That is more interesting to me as a Captain Hook than a Jude Law right now.
I agree.
sure.
I'm trying to see Steve Carell with the mustache. It actually looks pretty funny.
Yeah. All right.
Think of it like when Dustin Hoffman doesn't look like Dustin Hoffman. You could do the same thing with Steve Carell. Not that I want the same performance, but the same kind of like I'm pretending to look like something younger than I am because part of the whole point of Hook is that he is old and Pan
Wants
is
to
young.
be young. Yeah.
All that stuff. So do that with Hook. Jude Law just sounds so.
Yeah.
Was Hugh Jackman Hook in that one Warner Brothers adaptation?
No.
No,
Sorry.
he was Blackbeard.
Yes.
Oh,
The
the guy who played Tron, he was Hook. You're right.
Yes, the guy who played Tron was not Tron, but played Sam in Tron Legacy. He was Hook.
Oh, Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
No,
Not Charlie Hunnam. It's the guy who looks like Charlie Hunnam.
Shit. Gareth Edwards. Oh no. Oh, they're all white guys.
Anyway,
I think his name is Sam. Like his real name is Sam.
That's his character's name.
That's his character's name in Tron Legacy. He was
Garrett Hutland.
Thank you.
That
He
one.
was fine, but he was also being like friend Hook before he becomes bad Hook, which isn't the same and nothing to judge us on. And he would be a better choice than Jude Law, but I still don't even want him. This is all just the wrong direction of what I want.
Is there a director or just casting?
Just casting. I didn't see anything about a director, but I could have just missed it.
And also, they're in talks with Jude Law. He hasn't accepted the role yet, right?
This is talks. This is talks. Ben, this is for you.
For me?
Yeah,
Yep.
Stephen King has announced his new book.
God damn it.
No, it's not. Ready Player 2 has a release date of November
That's
4th.
cool.
You can pre-order it now.
That's the one.
This
Yay.
is the sequel to Ready Player 1.
Do we have any info or a synopsis or anything about it?
Nope, I looked.
Okay.
I'm totally cool with just flying in blind on this one.
I'm totally cool with just not reading this one.
Me too. For our thoughts on Ready Player 1, on that episode, it's still here.
And it's not an attack on you.
I know.
I don't like that book. I think it's badly written, and I didn't care for it, and I don't have the nostalgia for video games that
I do,
book is trying to lean into, and apparently a whole lot of Twitter agrees. But you can like it. That's fine. I just have no interest in reading this.
I'm not going to force you to read it.
Wait for the movie.
No, even if there is a movie because of this book, I'm not going to do what you guys did. I'm not going to do to Ready Player 1 for this one.
I'd
won't be a movie
be
to
honest, even if you asked, I wouldn't.
we'll veto it.
I don't like Ernest Cline. I don't like his writing.
Have you read his lady poetry?
I'm aware, and it's bad, and I have no.
Actually, even though I love Ready Player 1, probably to a fault, I did read Armada, and Armada wasn't my favorite. I did not enjoy that. At first, I was still riding high on the high of Ready Player 1, but as I was getting through Armada, when I got to the ending, I'm like, wait, what?
More like Armada.
Yeah, that Zara asked me like, wait, the first one did well enough to do a second one, and I told her like the reason why it did so well is because Loot Crate shipped out millions.
It's true.
Yeah, that's how I got it. That's how I got into it. Is because Loot Crate shipped me a free copy of the book, and then I started reading it. I'm like, oh shit, I like this.
Lindsay Ellis has a fun little Twitter thing where she talks about how her book was rejected by the same publishing company that put out Ready Player 1, and she created like a tagline that she wishes she could put on her book about that. and I'm like, I think that's fair because I haven't read Lindsay Ellis's book, but I bet it's better.
Yeah. All right. And Sparks, you brought this to our attention. A new live action series is coming from Alexandra Aha, based on the Junji Ito manga Tomy.
Yeah.
Or Tomy, right?
Tomy.
Alexander Aja directed the Hills of Eyes remake and Piranha 3D. He's an excellent horror director.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Adeline Rudolph will lead the cast, and David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. Sorry, I love that name. David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. That last part is hyphened. Is writing it, and he wrote The Conjuring 2 and Aquaman. Co-wrote specifically.
Is this like James Wan produced or something?
Like I'm kind of excited about it, but at the same time, I'm just hesitant because it's very hard for me to picture.
Wait, I didn't say it's on Quibi.
That's the only reason I don't care.
No, you said at the top that it was Quibi.
Did I?
Yeah, Junji Ito's artwork and his horror is hard for me to picture translated into live action in general. Tomy is an easier work to do that with, but still a challenge. It's not impossible. Quibi's not where I think it would have the ability to do it.
I definitely want to watch a horror movie in 10-minute segments.
Did you see that Quibi lost 80% of its subscriber base this week?
Not surprised.
No.
Because the 90-day free trial expired.
Oh.
90 days. That's a long free trial.
That is a long free
When
trial.
you
No thanks.
the first people who signed up for Quibi got a 90-day free trial if you signed up in that first week.
Quibi has some cool looking stuff on it, but I'm so against the format.
Me too.
And I'm so against a needless streaming service, which Quibi is probably top of the list of like, definitely didn't need that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the show in the same way that I'm interested in most of Junji Ito's stuff, even though I haven't read any of it. It just looks incredible.
I'm waiting for the inevitable 2 years from now when everything on Quibi gets sold off to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon.
But Quibi is now releasing trailers for their finished stuff to be like, hey, now it's done. Go watch it.
What a weird marketing tool, man.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm sure this will be sold to someone when Quibi eventually dies. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't announce they're dead now.
I'm interested in hearing like from people who do watch it, from horror aficionados, what they think. This is an interesting thing to have happen. As an isolated thing. The fact that it's on Quibi turns me off hardcore.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft had a conference this week, today even. Took me by surprise, where they announced a bunch of
the Ubisoft one and the Devolver Digital one. That is a small indie one. That's where the other games that I mentioned.
I see. Yeah. Gotcha. So Ubisoft announced Far Cry 6 with a trailer and no gameplay, right? Just a trailer?
Yeah. Fun fact about Far Cry 6, much like Star Wars Squadrons, it got leaked a week early. So this entire press conference was basically useless because everybody knew about all the games. So it was very much like that EA conference, which is a shame. Far Cry 6, Giancarlo Esposito, they always get a cool person to be the bad guy. To be honest, the best Far Cry game in the last 10 years was Far Cry 3, and that was like 4 games ago. It's kind of the thing where like it's just getting repetitive and they're not doing enough to keep it fresh. The coolest one they really honestly did was Far Cry Primal, where it was entirely you're a caveman, and all of it was subtitled, and you have to fight like other cavemen and like woolly mammoths, and you only have spears and stuff. That was the coolest thing they've done. That was a couple years ago, but this one, like Giancarlo, is really cool. I just hope they do something fresh enough to make us care, because honestly, like after a while, like Far Cry 5 was like against white supremacists and like a cult leader, and like the promise seemed really cool. Like those trailers were really, really cool, and the game was not that at all.
Sure.
The problem with a lot of the Far Cry games is you saw the marketing. The marketing is very serious, and they're trying to tell a very serious story. But all the Far Cry games are really funny in tone and really wacky. So the disparaging tone has always been a problem with the marketing. So it kind of bums me out, because I'm sure this game's going to be cool and Giancarlo's going to be cool, but like that game's about flame-throwing bears and like exploding people. It's not about serious issues, but they keep trying to make it about that. I'm like, you guys got to learn sometime. That's not why we come here. You guys are lying to us. Giancarlo's great, though. I can't wait to see him be a bad guy.
I was thinking the whole time I was watching that cinematic trailer, I'm like, man, I'd watch this Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll play that video game, but I'll watch that Netflix movie for sure.
People were really stoked about this one because there's obviously the main bad guy, Giancarlo Esposito, but then he has a son, Diego, and Diego has a scar across his eyelid. And the main villain in Far Cry 3 also has the same scar. So a lot of people were speculating that it might have been a prequel, because Far Cry 3 is the most popular and well-received Far Cry game, and that villain, Vaz, is the best Far Cry villain that we've ever had. So people were thinking it's that, but in the trailer, he's wearing modern headphones, so it doesn't line up with age, because that character would be way older for that to make sense. So people were kind of bummed out that it's not going to be him. Let's hope it's good. Once you get past,
that's a weird detail to so specifically include for it not to be him.
But yeah, that character is like 35 years old, like in Far Cry 3.
I get
so
it.
Like, I hope it's true. That'd be cool.
We can't hear you.
Your mic is off, dude.
Sorry. Assassin's Creed Valhalla released a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, really, really in-depth look at it.
Yeah. You'll get to those games eventually, but like the modern Assassin's Creed games have become very much The Witcher, where they're giant, sprawling open world games. This one, it's really taken to the core, like what Vikings like do, and they go on raids and they actually like raid things and like they build up settlements and like not just making them savage barbarians, like kind of like how we're taught, is a cool aspect that I think not a lot of people really know. Because mostly it's just like, oh, they came and they slaughtered everyone. I'm like, well, doesn't that what America's do too?
That was a weird moment for me, I'll be honest, when he was saying, like, a lot of people think of Vikings as savage barbarians. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, I read.
Yeah. Yes, it's very much like video games or entertainment teaches you things you might not realize. But the gameplay itself looks really cool. It's taking all the combat and building up on it of like almost Dark Souls-esque, where you have to like parry and dodge and stuff. Yeah, the building the settlement thing is something I'm very excited about because that's my shit, is like building up settlements and like
Animal Crossing Valhalla.
Animal Crossing Valhalla. Give me
Animal Crossing Valhalla, where Tom Nook can actually fight back.
Yes, exactly. And again, like there's fortress attacks. There's the giant open battles. There's character stuff, but also remember it's still an Assassin's Creed game, so they haven't showed us any of the stuff with the Assassins or the Templars or any really much a lot of stealth stuff. So there's so much game still to explore. Looks great.
Yeah, I was actually watching it and I was surprised. This doesn't look recognizable as an Assassin's Creed game right away.
Not anymore. No, they are fundamentally very, very. Oh, I will say they are different games, but the stealth aspect is something I really do like, because the modern games you can do stealth, but it's not really required. This one, you are a Viking in England, and they always recognize you, so you have to be stealthy. You have to avoid them, so you have to like blend in.
Unless you're prepared to kill them all.
Them all, and that's how the original games were. You have to be more stealthy. So that's part of that's something that I'm excited is coming back, because it kind of did get away from Assassin's Creed, which is stealth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, heck yeah.
Another game they announced was Hyperscape, the multiplayer one.
A lot of me talking. Sorry, everyone.
It's fine.
Hyperspace is a
Hyperscape
is a 99-person battle royale, much like Apex Legends, Battlegrounds, all those type of games.
Overwatch.
Overwatch is 66.
But it's utilizing similar tools.
Yes, so
in its way.
Instead of it being character skills, like you pick up stuff on the map. So you run in, you see an ability, you pick up the ability instead of inherently having it. So that's a little different than most battle royale games. And this looks really nice and fun. I love shooting up a bunch of fools. The city gets destroyed as you're playing it, so that's what brings you guys closer together. And this looks like a very fun take on the battle royale genre that I can't wait to try out. It's apparently open beta right now.
Yeah, sounds cool. Sorry, I got really hungry for a second. Watch Dogs Legion.
He hit him. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Watch Dogs Legion was another game that was announced. Which one was this one?
This one I'm really excited about. I've been excited since the concept was announced. I've never been interested in the Watch Dogs games, to be honest. They've never been something that super appealed to me. But this one, where the concept is that everybody in the game is playable. So your whole thing is that you are part of the resistance, the revolution. You are trying to recruit characters to your side to rebel against what's happening in the city of London. And as you recruit them, you can play them. And so if you die on a mission or you lose your character, you just become one of your other recruit people.
Cool.
That's how the game progresses.
Did you not watch this trailer, Brandon?
I did watch the trailer, but
But he might have only watched the cinematic part, not the gameplay part.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Which doesn't really. Yeah. By the way, that cinematic trailer that they did, without showing a lot about how the video game will play, is very well animated.
Yes.
That is one of the most enjoyable cinematic game trailers I've seen in a long time, just because they went wacky with it, how they wanted to show it. And I'm like, I appreciate that. That was like its own little short film. I really like it.
There's a lot of Ubisoft short films in this.
Yeah. But that being said, the gameplay stuff really fascinates me, because every mission you have such a versatile, different way you can approach it. You can approach it as someone who is part of Albion,
the police, basically,
who are like the police, the Silver Sable police, kind of, who have come into London and taken
hired
over.
mercs.
And you can infiltrate them and get in there real stealthy, real sneaky. or you can go in as a hitman, or you could go in as a construction worker who you've recruited and who can control some of the cargo drones and shit, and that's how you work your way in. Like, you can do all these different approaches depending on who you decide you want to use, who you've recruited.
Yeah.
And that sounds so dynamic. Like, you are allowed to craft the story in such a way that is unique to you. I'm super interested in that.
Yeah. Like, these are exactly my type of games that I love. Like, give me the freedom to do just whatever I want, whenever I want. And this is exactly the thing. Like, oh, go in and steal this thing. You can go in stealthy. You can go in attack. You can use a drone. You can use construction work.
You can go in as an 80-year-old lady who nobody suspects of doing anything, and then beat the shit out of them with a cane.
They didn't show it in this trailer, but in the initial trailer, yeah, you could play as an 80-year-old woman, and just nobody suspects you because you got a little cane, and then you use that cane and beat the shit out of people. There's so many different variables in every single mission that I'm almost concerned for the story, because I'm like, how do you make the characters involved and make you care about them if you can play thousands of people at once? So that's a challenge I am so excited to see, because this has never been done in a game before like this.
The thing that seems so interesting about it is that so what they've established is every time you're coming to a new recruit, you get their origin mission, which is like their identity and who their character is and everything. And then once you work past that, you can just intersperse them into whatever story missions you're doing as you work your way through the campaign.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just that they all have built in their own ways based on their character history to how they're going to respond to the situation, and that's fascinating.
It's almost like an RPG where you have a characters you can choose from your party, except all the characters are the main characters.
Oh yeah, I get the concept. I saw both the.
I'm trying to relay it to you because I'm just gonna get you to talk about it a little bit as well.
No, you guys are super excited, but I'm letting you do your thing because at first I was Sparks. Watch Dogs was never a thing that really appealed to me. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But then I remember last year when I saw the E3 trailer, I was like, oh no, this is pretty freaking cool. And watching the trailer for today's conference, I'm like, I might actually invest in this game. I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty much sold on it from concept, and I'm like, as long as it keeps sounding this good as we get closer to its release, I'm gonna jump in. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna definitely jump in on this game. I have no interest in playing the previous Watch Dogs really, but this one, this is such a dynamic approach to video gaming. I'm so intrigued.
And just the fact that you can, it's in a way, it's kind of like Fire Emblem where you can recruit other people, but I mean, obviously it's not Fire Emblem. But you could be able to recruit other people, and if you lose them, you lose them. They're gone. You're not getting those characters back.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely you have to really plan and really strategize. Okay, how do I want to tackle this mission? Who do I want to put in there? Do I want to go in guns a-blazing with the construction worker and just beat the crap out of everyone with a nail gun? Or do I want to use the old lady and just be like super sneaky, and then when someone gets in my way, whack them with my cane and tase them? Because I thought that was freaking awesome.
I can already see myself like having favorites and being like, this mission's really dicey. Not going to send in my favorite. Okay, send in the construction worker guy, because if he goes, I can live with it. with it.
Or if I get really good at piloting drones.
To the end.
Yeah.
Or if I get really good at piloting drones, get the drone expert and be like, just hack drones and just shoot them out of the sky.
For sure.
Yeah, creating your own narrative is the coolest thing that you can do in a video game. If you can let me tell my own story through your story, I love it. This is the most choose your own adventure I have felt about a video game probably ever, and that really has me jonesing for it.
No, the level of customization, and when I say customization, I mean it in the terms of how you tackle a mission in this game is phenomenal already.
Yeah,
and I really hope it in the final product turns out well.
Right.
Because don't get me wrong, as awesome as this game looks, as awesome as this game sounds, I'm still gonna be a little okay. I'm like, I want to buy into the hype. I really, really do. But I'm like, I'm gonna wait and see what people say about this game if it's worth my time.
Yeah. So this has the same. I told him already. The same trajectory as Assassin's Creed. That first game is totally fine. You know, it's fine. It's cool. And then the second game got much better, and then the third game was like, oh shit, now we're a video game baby. So I'm very excited that we're finally at that. Oh, we're now a video game baby mode.
Right.
Because everyone seems to be pretty excited about this.
Yeah. Because I mean, I haven't heard horrible things about Watch Dogs. Like, it has its detractors. Some people love. There are people who really like the game. There are people who absolutely despise the game. But for Legion looks like it's one of those games that it's going to change everything, and everyone's going to be talking about it.
The thing that really fascinates me about it is the amount of replayability. Like I can get through that. I don't even care if that campaign's short, to be honest with you, at this point.
Yeah.
Because if all of the characters are as fleshed out as they say, and all of that world is so fleshed out, then I'll play through like a 20, 25-hour campaign, go back and play it again, and pick totally different recruits.
Because as long as the gameplay is
Because
good,
everything will play differently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything you want, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Free playability, I love it.
The rest of the conference is just like we're giving an update to this game, or they have an iOS game coming.
Rainbow
So
Six, things like that. Yeah.
Brawlhalla is now
iOS.
compatible with everybody can play together
So
from different
people
things.
on their phones can play with people on their Switch, their Xbox, their PlayStation, their PC, their Android. They're all together. That's the future
cool.
liberals want, baby.
This is nice because it means we can all play Brawlhalla now on any system together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
what was the other game conference? Because we're there now.
So Devolver Digital, they are a small indie company that they're like probably like the number one big indie devs. Like they put out a lot of really cool shit. There's a lot more games that they announced, but the ones that stood out to me, and I think to you guys, if you watch that conference, I think you'd like these the most. Shadow Warrior 3 is obviously a sequel to the Shadow Warrior franchise. The original Shadow Warrior is a 90s hack and slash game for the PC that Devolver Digital remade it like 10 years ago or so. And then they made a sequel, and now they made this one because it just keeps getting more popular. I've never played the games, but this one, it just looks so fun and looks so dynamic. It almost reminds me of like an Asian-inspired Doom, like with Japanese folklore Doom. Because it's so fast and frantic, and you're doing like hook stuff, and you're swinging around like Nathan Drake. I just think it looks like a fun old time. I know the games have like a very tongue-in-cheek sense of humor. Like the main character is just like Spider-Man. He's just joking nonstop. So I might, if I hear good things, I might check this one out. I just thought I'd share it to you guys because
No, I liked it. I was glad you shared this one.
Yeah, the look of the gameplay looks really, really fun.
The enemy designs are just so wacky. Like there's an accordion guy who like just like zooms around like an accordion. I'm like, I've never seen an enemy like
Really,
that.
the aesthetic, like the Chinese, Japanese, Asian aesthetic, was the one that caught my eye the most. And even like the weapons, because the weapons were very stylized, and the enemy, it kind of was like Doom in a way, where all the guns and all the enemies fit the certain aesthetic, and I really dug it.
So yeah, that first game is very much it's gotten more bombastic over time, but I played the demo of the first one, and it's very much you can cut someone up like 100 times. Like that was the thing. Like it's like super cool katana combat, and then there's a lot of cool gun stuff, and they just keep amping it up. So I'm excited to check this out
for sure.
Yeah. And then the other one that was announced was Fall Guys Ultimate Lockout.
I just brought this up because we were just talking about like why isn't there the floor is lava thing that we can do going somewhere? I'm like, well, we can't go do a floor is lava thing, but we can play a floor is lava type of game. So this is a battle royale 60-person wipeout simulator.
Yeah, competitive like Mario Party style.
It's
but
Mario
like
Party
all
games.
doing like obstacle course
but
games.
There's 60 people, and I think this would just be a really fun game for all of us to play.
For sure.
And it's on a bunch of systems. It just looked like a good
Actually,
time.
it's only on PS4 and PC. That's what they said.
Okay, well, we got one of those.
Yeah.
So PS4 then. But I thought it looked charming and cute, and we should play it.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. You know what looked charming and cute though?
Me?
The boys. Well, yeah.
Oh.
You.
Back.
I got you, baby.
Yeah.
The Boys season 2. Finally, a proper teaser of what the next season is going to be.
Proper.
I thought this looked awesome.
Yep.
Yes, it continues to be extremely violent and gross and coarse, and exactly what I want from the show. And funny. Man, there's a scene where Homelander just straight up crushes a dude's skull against a door.
wall.
Like, oh boy!
There's also a scene where he's licking milk out of a bottle like a cat.
Yes, he's got issues for sure.
Yeah.
We saw Stormfront with their electricity. Yep.
Yeah, I think this looks really great. I'm really excited for the second season. As well as the Umbrella Academy season 2 trailer dropped. I'm also really stoked for this new season.
That comes out like in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right?
A couple weeks, yeah.
That's so cool. Yo, man, they're trapped in the past.
They brought the apocalypse with them. There's a dude with a fishbowl.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we all like that first season. I'm very stoked.
What a time.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that the trailer came out and it's coming out in a couple weeks instead of having to wait like a year or something.
Yeah, or 15 months. Halloween
15
kills.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts is like, it's like, hey, is Ben here with us? He's like, oh no, ghosts don't time travel. Really?
Yeah. I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it looks like there's going to be a lot more Ben.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really stoked where all the characters are. I hope Vanya, I hope the best for Vanya.
Yeah. I mean, She seems fine. She seems like she'll be part of the family again without much issue.
I brought this to your guys' attention because I wanted you guys to see it. I thought it looked pretty cool. But Random Acts of Violence, the new Shudder movie, directed by Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, Jay. Heck yeah. What'd you think about it?
Very grindhousey. I like the feel of it. I definitely would like to check this out. Shudder's yet another streaming service, but I don't blame Shudder for anything. I value what Shudder contributes because it is such a direct. We're a very specific streaming service offering something that is hard to get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Just want to. Wave Function says watching from Sandia National Laboratory, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Offices. What? You're welcome.
I hope you're doing your job, sir. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Shudder is a service that I wish was still part of Verve because it was so easy to have it when it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm really glad that Shudder's around, and I'm really glad that Shudder keeps funding projects like this.
Yeah,
they keep getting bigger and bigger too. So I'm really happy for that because like weird horror stuff comes out of Shudder, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I really like Jay Baruchel. And that dude is a super nerd. Like he's very into like genre and comics and horror movies and stuff. So like it's cool. It's always cool when like young actors get to like branch out into like, oh, I'm gonna try to do my project. So I hope it's good. It definitely has like that cool like indie flair that looks really charming.
I'm actually kind of bummed that this movie's not being a wider release because yes, it's on Shudder, it's a streaming service. But I kind of really want to watch this one. Yeah. I thought the concept was good. You have a comic book author who writes about
free trials for baby.
Yeah.
So here's the nice thing is that most Shudder projects very quickly find their way to DVD and Blu-ray and home video ability for you to own or Prime Video because Shudder wants to market out those movies. They're funding them so they host them on their streaming services, but they don't like hoard them and keep them forever. They do like to get them out into the market. So it's usually pretty easy to pick up like a Shudder original eventually.
Okay. Yeah, because if I find this, because I would really like to watch it. I just love the concept. It's about a guy who's essentially getting stalked by a dude who's copying the murders in his comic books.
Yeah, and they look very grisly, like very Hannibal-esque, like weird bunch of bodies in different positions. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, he writes one of the most popular horror comics.
Sure, man.
Got a lot of fans. Wave Function says thumbs up to you too, sir. I thought this looks interesting. Also, speaking of Quibi, Die Hard, guys. John Travolta, Kevin Hart, you love to see it.
Again, like
I would love to see it.
Yeah,
if it wasn't on Quibi, then yes.
Again, I'm gonna wait
at a time.
I'm gonna wait till the end of the year for all of these shows to be out and done, and then just binge it on that 7-day free trial. Because like I'm interested in some of these shows, but I'm not watching them 10 minutes at a time. There's nothing you can do to make me do that.
Nor am I paying monthly to have it.
I refuse. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Jonathan Quibi.
Quibi is the worst.
Yes.
Jonathan Quibi. The One and Only Ivan is the new Disney Plus movie. This was supposed to be theatrically released, but it is the next film to be shepherded to Disney Plus after Artemis Fowl.
Oh,
this is
that makes much more sense.
Yeah, that is Sam Rockwell as a gorilla, Bryan Cranston as a circus master. Looks okay.
I was like, this is a really big name cast for a Disney Plus original.
Yeah.
Not that they can't do it, they usually don't do this many in one.
Yeah. It looks charming enough.
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
it looks charming. Yeah,
it's on Disney Plus. I don't mind.
Yeah.
This was about I guess the gorilla can draw and he doesn't remember his past and looks cute. I like Bryan Cranston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like him too.
Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy Siege. This is also coming out soon. This is the first of the anime trilogy that Netflix is producing of the Transformers franchise. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same week as Umbrella Academy, actually.
Whoop whoop. Good year. Good week.
I think this looks awesome.
Yes, I agree. This does look awesome.
Yeah. I'm so excited for this one. I cannot wait to watch it.
I mean, it's definitely the most you corrected me. It's the most I've been excited about Transformers something since Bumblebee. Like no disrespect to any of those like shows that I'm sure are good, but like this just compared to all the other trailers I've seen for other shows, this seemed to have the weight and the weight of actual war and like the gravity of it. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like the actual like not tension because it's just a trailer, but like I felt like yo man, Megatron and Optimus are going through some shit. This is the end times for them, and like
they got that shot of like Autobots on the
spikes.
Spikes.
Yeah. This is some mature shit. Like this feels a little more mature than like normal Transformers. So I'm like,
I mean, we kind of been in this era of Transformers before with the War and Fall for Cybertron video games, and we got
Not like this.
Not even close. Where you actually see Optimus, or one of the parts of the trailer that I love.
2 gets close. Okay, you know what? 2 gets close. Grimlock's prison sequence is actually pretty dramatic.
But still, normally when you talk about the War for Cybertron and other Transformers properties, it's only just like a quick snippet or a few episodes and then you're done. Whereas the games, they took place on Cybertron. We saw shit go down. This is like the heart. Oh, those games are great. But this show is like showing the hardships of war, the horrors of war, like we saw with the Autobots and the spikes, but also Optimus Prime doubting himself. Like that line, "Am I seriously putting us through a pointless crusade?" Is all worth it.
This is definitely Transformers for, I would say, upper teenagers. It's kind of the demographic they're probably trying to go for. Maybe early 20s.
I feel like this is definitely a Transformers show that I have been waiting for my entire life.
Yeah.
Because I've always like...
We'll keep waiting because it's a movie.
Damn it, all right? Either way,
No, I feel the same.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Ben. Like, this is the first one that's actually like garnered my attention for me to want to watch.
Actually, Ben, what I'll say is this is the Transformers movie I've been waiting for.
Yep.
There we go. There we go. I'll take that.
So I put this one on there because I saw it quite by accident, and I thought you guys would be interested in it, but it's Woke. The new Hulu TV series Woke, coming September 9th. I forget the actor's name, but he's from New Girl.
We didn't watch that.
We didn't watch this.
That wasn't on the thing.
It was on the thing.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
It was after Transformers.
Oh, I missed it.
I have nothing to say about this.
I'm not woken.
I'm so sad because actually I thought you guys would like it, and I was excited to talk to you guys about it.
Tell me about it, and I'll get excited about it.
I watched it.
Well, Ben. So it's you remember it's the guy from New Girls.
Yeah,
he's an artist who just wants to do fun art. He's not interested in making a statement with his art. And everyone's like, "What are you trying to say with your art?" He's like, "I'm not trying to say anything with my art." And then he gets stopped by the police for no reason. And then he starts seeing.
Is it a movie or a show?
Show. It's a show on Hulu.
And he gets stopped because he was misidentified as a suspect. He essentially gets thrown on the ground, put in handcuffs, and then they're like, "Oh, this isn't the guy." So he was racially profiled. And
so then it becomes that he is now woke, in the very sense, and he sees like all these eyes popping up on artwork, staring at him, and he's trying to struggle with like, maybe I should say something with my art, but I don't want to be a part of that. So it looks really good. I'm really stoked for it, honestly.
A headline I just found is Hulu's newest original Woke the perfect show for our time? I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Cool. I like that guy. Cool. All right.
Yeah, me too. He was in Bloodshot recently.
Yes, that's where I was like, I know I saw him in something. Yeah.
And then something that dropped just this morning. I was actually surprised. I thought they'd be for Comic-Con. Star Trek Lower Decks. The next Star Trek series coming from CBS All Access. This is the adult animated show by one of the writers of Rick and Morty. Writer of co-showrunner of let's just watch the Solar Opposites. Thank you.
There you go.
And many other things. He's a huge Trekkie, so this is kind of his attempt at that franchise. It looks okay. I think so.
I'll tell you what, Brandon, I don't think it looks okay. I think it looks better than okay. This is actually the only Star Trek show that I've seen in the past couple of years that I've actually really been interested in watching. I think this looks really funny. Mainly because it's trying to do something actually different for a change. Not that Discovery isn't doing something different, but it's not doing what I want. This is kind of doing what I want, where I want to see like Star Trek isn't always just serious.
You want to watch the Orville?
I want to watch. Well, I did watch the Orville.
Right,
I just not caught up. But yeah, this is like I thought it was really funny, and like it's so much more mature than I expected it to be. And it might not fit with traditional Star Trek, but that's the world we live in. I guess it's not the same.
I very much thought when this was announced that it was going to be like an attempt to do a Star Trek animated show, but it was supposed to feel in continuity of everything and just be about the stories of these people on Lower Decks. Now that I know that's basically parody of Star Trek in Star Trek, but it doesn't actually exist in continuity.
Yeah.
This is continuity. This exists 100% in continuity.
Fine. No, it doesn't. There's no way that they just have people who are pulling out people's hearts on Star Trek ships.
Okay, so that's my world. So that's my thing. So it looks funny. It looks like a funny Star Trek parody. But according to everyone involved in the show, the showrunner, Kurtzman, everyone, this is continuity. This is canon to the franchise. So it doesn't tonally, as Sparks was saying, it doesn't. I don't know if I buy that at the same time. There's all these other things going on. Someone's ripping hearts out and stupid shit like that.
I definitely don't buy that it actually exists in the world of the shows. I just buy it as a fun Star Trek humor show.
Yeah, like the reason I'm drawn to it is because like it takes like how many people run a starship? Like hundreds and hundreds of people, right?
Thousands.
Okay. Thousands of people. Not every single one of those people is serious.
Yeah.
It's impossible because that's what the world would be terrible if nobody was funny.
There's a really good episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation called Lower Decks that deals with that very thing.
I love it, and I love like almost like the classism between like, oh, you guys are just like maintenance. You're like on the lower decks. Like I like that idea, and they're just a bunch of like ragtag dudes working on a starship, and they're not the commander or whatever. I
like the ship design.
Yeah, I honestly, I was really surprised how much I'm into this. It's a shame it's on another.
It's called the USS Cerritos.
Yeah,
I think that's a great.
Yeah.
No, I love this trailer. After watching this trailer, I'm really bummed that's only on CBS All Access because I really want to watch it. Like the joke that got me was when she shoots the phaser and it's like, "You almost phasered me," and she's like, "No, don't worry, it was set on the stun." Yeah.
I like those uniform designs too.
This animation style and humor reminds me a lot of Final Space. It's a lot like Final Space.
Yeah.
The Olan Rogers TBS production.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, right?
No, it's not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I like the look of it.
So I mean, obviously, I'm watching everything Star Trek does now. I'll keep doing it until Star Trek disappoints me as much as Crimes of Grindelwald. So,
oof,
has yet to do that.
Just go back and watch Into Darkness, and you're good.
What's Into Darkness?
Oh, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sparks.
I'm pretty sure Benedict Cumberbatch played a character named
John Harrison.
I don't know what you're talking about.
His name is
the
John
sequel
Harrison.
to Star Trek 09 was Beyond. Did they make a third one?
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about now.
Your sweet lie.
We're talking about now the Old Guard. This is the Greg Rucka written adaptation of a Greg Rucka comic book.
Heck yeah, it is.
Of the same name. So full spoilers for both the comic and the movie. If you don't want to know anything, stop listening to the show, I guess. But
just leave, go.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So this full spoilers from here on out of the Old Guard. Charlie's there, and what do we think about this one? Let's go around the horn. Some thoughts with Ben.
I was really surprised how closely the book and the movie are they're almost beat for beat in a certain sense. Normally you don't get those sort of adaptations anymore, but because I saw the movie first and then I read the book. Normally for these I would be like, oh, I like this over that, but no, I was like, no, both were actually pretty damn good. I really liked them both. I had a good time with both of them. I love the concept.
Ryan?
Yes, I agree. This is one of the rare cases where I like the movie more than I like the book.
I'm in the same place.
I think the book it sets the table setting for the entire universe and does interesting things with the characters, but the movie really cements and actually gives those characters real characterization, real personality that it can happen with movies with real people, obviously. But because you have Greg Rucka directly adapting his own book, he could take all the stuff that he likes and improve on the stuff that is bad about it, or vice versa and stuff like that. So much like Deadly Class had Rick Remender write it, and that's why it's such a great adaptation, because when you have the original person involved, they know what works and what doesn't work. And I think this is a great example of what can happen when you bring in that original author to do their story justice. Because I think there are stuff that happens in the movie that's much better than the book, and there are a couple things in the book where I'm like, I kind of wish that I had done that in the movie. One specifically that you brought up that now after reading the book, I'm like, why did they even make that choice? I don't get it. But besides that, I think this is a super fun action movie. It's super diverse. It's got a great cast. Female director. I thought it was a win. Thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sparks?
I echo a lot of what Ryan just said. I think that both have a certain amount of flaws, but I overall prefer the film version. I think the book has some stuff that I wish had been incorporated to the film, but overall, I liked both. I enjoyed doing both, but I do think the movie kind of surpasses the book in most aspects.
Yeah, I'm kind of sitting with Ben. I think I like both pretty much the same for different reasons. I'm happy that the book stuck so closely to the comic. In the case that there's dialogue bits, even though the settings are changed. But I'm also glad with what the changes were, with the exception of one, I'll be honest, because it made the movie feel like I was watching a distinct product to the book. I wasn't watching an adaptation. I was watching an inspiration of, I guess. If that makes any sense. So I think they're both strong in different aspects.
Well, I mean, like, let's just go into that. Like, what's your one thing, and we'll just...
I don't like that they changed it so that Charlize Theron is no longer immortal.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I don't get it.
So here's the thing, and I want to be... I'm also in agreement on this, but I want to be really clear. If the movie had not tried to set up a sequel at the end, I wouldn't have minded. Yeah. If this were a standalone film, I do not mind it.
Brandon, the game is on.
The game is on.
The clear intention of the 6 months, it was funny because right at the end, they're doing the part where they're in their room and they're like, Copley, you're going to do this for us. And Ryan's like, it's the game is on. And I'm like, well, kind of. I mean, it doesn't demand a sequel. And then it goes 6 months later and I'm like, now it's the game is on. If they hadn't so strongly hinted at a furthering sequel, almost feeling like it's necessary, I would feel like Charlize Theron not being immortal anymore in this movie worked because it's a standalone story and I'm into that. We're never going back. I think that works fine.
Yeah.
It's because they set up a sequel that I go, I don't think that was the right choice now that I've read the book. I don't think that was the right choice.
So I read the book first and then I watched the movie.
Yeah.
And which is rare for me because I generally don't do that. But I decided to do it this time. And watching the movie, there were a lot of points where I remember reading the book and going like, oh, are they going to make it a story of how she's losing her immortality? But they don't do that in the book. And then when I saw those hints in the movie, I was like, oh, they're doing what I thought the book was going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it works for exactly the reason that you stated.
Yeah, because when I was reading the book, I was actually waiting to get to the part where Charlize Theron was going to lose her immortality. And then, or when Andy was going to lose her immortality, and then she never does. So I'm like, so as I'm reading this, and it's only 5 issues. I mean, I assume there's more.
The second volume is currently coming out right now.
Okay, cool. But at the same time, it's like one of the things I loved about the movie is how the stakes were now higher for Charlize Theron. Because throughout the movie, like she's getting shot, she's getting hurt, she's like, okay, yeah, whatever. But now her safety net is gone, so she has to be extra careful. And I really like that in the film. Whereas in the book, it's still like she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That is a good point, Ben. That is a good point. I will say again, this is only the first 5 issues of the comic, and again, the comic came out in 2017. It's very new. The second volume is only coming out right now. But maybe because Greg Rucka knew where the story was going from the comic, he implemented the stuff with her immortality early. Because maybe this is something happening in the comic right now that we just don't know. Because like again, like a lot of comics that we read, like a lot of the movies they incorporate many volumes into one book or into one movie, and this one is very much just that first volume. So he could.
I think that's where the other girl, the girl who was trapped in the water. I think she's from the second volume that they put into the fabric of this.
The game is on. Yeah, definitely. I think that might be second volume stuff too. So again, like the more I think about it, like I'm kind of conflicted because it does add kind of this like unnecessary drama. But again, there really isn't drama because there are no stakes. So Ben, I do. Oh,
downright nerdy.
Give that point credit of it adds some stakes, I guess.
So here's hey, downright nerdy.
Hey, bud.
So here's my counter to what you're saying there because I agree for the most part, but the thing is like there are no stakes if the character wants to die.
Yeah.
Right.
Which she does. She doesn't care. Yeah. So her not caring means I don't need to care so much if she dies. She's pretty much made peace with it already. Yeah. So those stakes kind of become moot. And again, it is something where if they were a standalone film, I'd say, you know what, it works out. It works well. It's a nice balance of Niall coming up and her going away and passing the torch kind of thing. But knowing that they want to do another, it's like, no, you could have just saved that for later. That now it feels like you've shortchanged her for the next thing.
Yeah.
Now it feels like we always have to be on pins and needles about her character in a way that doesn't work as well against the backdrop of this world and these characters.
Yeah.
Especially because it is nice that... So what's nice in the book, I think, about her staying immortal is that she does want to die and she's not dying. And then by the end of the book, this happens in the movie too, but by the end of the book, she realizes a reason to be living. And I think that's supposed to be the emotional journey. And when it's just thrust upon her through the force of, well, now you're dying anyway, so make a choice about it.
You have to confront it like
I don't like the way that it's not given the emotional weight I wanted to for her specifically in the film, and not for me to consider it stakes.
Yeah,
Also, one other thing about Andy in the movie is that she doesn't know what good she actually has done throughout.
That's a good change, I think. I think
so too.
The whole thing about rewriting history is so good.
Yeah, because she talks about how in the very beginning of the movie, she talks about how bad the world's getting. Like she watches the news in Marrakesh, how the world's going to shit, and then they get found out, and they're like, "Look at what we've done. The world's not getting any better. The world isn't getting fixed." And it's not until the end where essentially Copley, who I actually liked Copley a whole lot. I liked I think
he's a lot better in the movie.
Yeah,
he's like a character.
I wish they'd given him that bit from the book where he calls him and he says, "I bet she's coming for you. You ain't gonna live long." Bye.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, but I do like how Copley becomes. When I was watching the movie, he kind of gave me a Lawrence Fishburne vibe in Ant-Man and the Wasp, where he's doing a bad thing, but he's doing it for like the quote unquote right reasons, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And then when they look at his wall and he's talking to him, like, look at all the good you guys have done throughout the centuries. You saved this boy. This boy became a Nobel Peace Prize for science. You saved this girl. She became a famous doctor. And they're like, oh, so we are doing the good. We may not see it in the news, but we actually are making a true difference. And that is another way that gives Charlize Theron's character, even though she's losing her mortality, a way to soldier on, in a sense.
I real quickly want to just say I don't think they should have kept Copley as CIA if they cast Chiwetel Ejiofor. It's really just a thing that just annoys me when they're just like, I thought you had to be American. Oh, I was born in Boston and raised in London. It's like, just say he's MI6. You don't need to deal with that.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
So I really like her learning about like the influence they've had and everything too. I think that's a good touch. Here's the thing: it actually hurt Copley's character for me, because if he's a person who observes that and recognizes it, the way you go about asking them to help humanity with their genetics is not to have them captured.
Yeah.
If you understand what they do for humanity, you don't just go, okay, they should get captured and put into a cage. That's what I'm going to help set up. That doesn't make sense. And that bothered me because those two things don't gel.
I do see where you're coming from, but I will counter it by he is so wrapped up in the emotion of his dead wife because he can't stop talking about his dead wife. So that's very, very serious for him. And like, he clearly is like a good guy, and maybe he's like, he doesn't expect that the bad guys are going to be as bad as they are.
I mean, like, obviously that's supposed to be built into the character. I don't find it believable. Merrick is clearly a sleazeball.
Yes.
You know from the moment that you're having these kind of gunmen going and escorting around that you're causing a dynamic that is not healthy for these individuals who you recognize what they're able to do for humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
It would make far more sense. Like, she calls him out on it. Niall calls him out on it and says, you did see this, and rather than like keeping it to yourself, you decided to share what wasn't yours to give. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't, even with the dead wife, it still feels like something where he'd approach and he'd say, I think that we could find a way, kind of thing, and communicate about it, rather than jumping to, I'm going to get them trapped and locked up and captured and all that. I don't know that
is it the same in the comic?
No, because he doesn't have that kind of research on them about their influence. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's specifically that he knows this influence. He's created this tapestry that he shows them of all the good they do. And he goes, and the best thing now is for them to get captured by the head of a pharmaceutical company and have their genetics taken away from them and probably be there for a very long time where I can't possibly get them out once they're captured.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
That's fair. Yeah.
What do we think of Dudley Dursley?
I like his performance. I think his character is written really poorly, especially after reading the comic where the villain is more interesting.
Yeah, I much prefer the buff, like surfer tech dude than just the wimpy.
Even just have the Dudley Dursley character, but like the moment I wish that they kept from the book is when he stabs them out of obsession of wanting to know what it feels like to murder somebody. He just stabs them over and over and over again, and even to the point that everybody in the room is like, "Whoa!"
He's even like,
"I wish that had been in the movie because that at least would have given him some kind of sadistic nature and everything." He's just a bland Elon Musk pharmaceutical type. It's not.
I mean, he does do a stabby thing on them, but like,
it's motivated by them doing something first.
Yeah.
In the book, he just goes for it because he wants to, because he can, and that's what I wanted him to be.
I would definitely say I would definitely say in the book he was much more of a threat and he was much more scarier. Because in the film, throughout the most of the film, he looks like this wimpy dude who's spouting that. Oh, like one of the great lines is like, "Oh, that's a grand justification for what you're trying to do here." And how about how I was like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm trying to save people from dementia. I'm trying to save people from horrible diseases, and you're being so selfish." He's like, "Oh, but you're still going around killing people to get what you want." Okay, yeah. Whereas in the comic book, he was just like, "Nah, F y'all. I'm doing this because it makes me filthy stinking rich."
Yeah.
Although I do like the way how he dies a little bit more in the film than he does in the book.
Sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In the book, his character deserves it. Getting
They're
shot,
both, I think they're both awesome. To be fair,
Yeah.
they're both great.
but also getting stabbed with Andy's axe and then falling 30-some floors down into your own car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the play dead comeback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the performance. 'Cause, I haven't seen this kid since Harry Potter, so
Right.
it was kind of cool. Like he really grew.
Hey, Bordenoid.
Bordenoid, hello.
We're talking about the old guard, comic book and movie.
Zelda.
Spoilers abound. I think that he did a good performance. I just wish that the villain had been written to be any amount more interesting.
Yeah.
Especially because knowing that the source material did. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot on the. I feel like Greg Rucka shot himself in the foot on the writing of Merrick in the film.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not very engaging.
I will say where he didn't shoot himself in the foot is our core 5 characters. I think the chemistry between all of them is so good,
which is impressive for the guy who played Jafar.
Yes,
Yeah. And he wrote one of them to shoot themselves in the foot too.
Yes. You brought up Jafar because I was seeing his face and I'm like, where is he from?
Holy crap, he's Jafar.
Yes.
Fanny.
See, that dude's a great actor.
I thought, okay, hold up. So when Fanny and I were watching this movie together, she said, "Hey, that's Jafar." I'm like, "No, that's Scar." And she's like, "No, the other guy." I'm like, "You mean the dude weird?" She's like, "Yeah, that's Jafar." I'm like, "No, it's not." And then as I watched the movie, like, "Oh shit, it is."
Oh yeah, baby.
Wild.
That's the guy. Oh yeah.
I love that
Totally
they kept his. I love that they kept his monologue of.
For sure, that's a great one.
There's a lot of like direct, great writing. Throughout this entire movie. So many, especially like you are an infant and your insult is infantile. This man is not my boyfriend. He is the love of my life, and he makes the sun explode.
He's not my lover. He's not my partner. He's more. He's everything and more.
Yeah, and it's so emotional. And then and that's ripped straight from the book.
I like the two of them a lot. I like the two of those characters a lot, especially when they open the thing. It's from the comic, and they open the back door. It's like, don't suppose you're going to take these off of us.
Right.
Yep.
You would have thought one of them would have had the keys.
Yeah. Nikki and Joe together, I love those two.
Yeah, me too.
I love their story of that they
fought each other in the Crusades.
And then they fell in love with each other. That's like the most badass, like
their story's really good.
I actually really wish they had kept a lot of the flashbacks from the comic.
Yeah, there's a lot of good, especially with Andy. There's a lot of really good stuff with Andy.
The stuff with Achilles.
Yeah,
I love Achilles.
Yeah, I wish that
we do get a visual reference to him, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're spoiling.
Now we're nerdy. I think we're gonna watch.
Definitely stop listening to us.
We're spoiling it.
We're spoiling the whole damn thing.
So I think it wasn't in this first volume. It might be in the second volume, but the stuff with Quinn or Gwen, whatever her name was, she is trapped at the bottom of the ocean.
She has a different name in the book.
She does have a different name in the book.
No, it's not. It's not the same character.
Okay.
I looked it up. So the one in the comic who jumps off the boat is not the same character.
Okay.
Does the character exist in the book?
I think in the second volume.
Maybe the second volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
I don't know for sure, but no, it is not the same character.
If I'm going to bet, it's going to be second volume because I thought the same thing, but I'm like, no, okay, they're probably not going to do that.
It's got really good action down right, Nerdy. You should be.
Yeah. Like no joke. The simple premise of being locked in an Iron Maiden at the bottom of an ocean, dying and over and over again for 500 years. No joke. Might be one of the most like sad things I've ever heard in like fiction. Like
that's some doomsday shit right there.
Drowning for endless 500 years, just dying, drowning. Like, yo, that would turn you evil. Oh yeah, that would turn you evil. The game is on.
I don't want to talk about that tease until the end.
Until the end. Yeah.
I like mentioned some of the flashbacks. I kind of wish they kept a lot of the flashbacks. Like with Achilles, we see there's a visual nod to the painting in the cave, which I did appreciate. We get a flashback with Quinn, but there's especially a flashback that I would have liked.
The other guy.
Oh, wait, we do get the other guy's flashback
With
with his son, which I'm really glad they kept that one in.
Yeah. It's just our time. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it when I like that the flashback with the guy Book, and he's talking about his son and how his son like resented him towards the end.
They
because he
definitely,
was dying from cancer.
they definitely made that monologue more emotional than in the comic. Because in the comic, it's just like, tell Niall about your family. And here it's like,
it's more or less the same words too.
Yes.
It's just that you're seeing the visuals of what he's talking about, which makes it more impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of really, really good monologue stuff, like good emotions.
Yeah. And sorry, Brandon. I just
the Crusades. The one I wanted to say, the Crusades flashback is the one I wish they kept in.
Oh, I really wanted the Crusades flashback, but the flashback I kind of liked a little bit more in the film than the book was Booker's son, because in the comic book his son is an old man. I mean, dying from cancer is a horrible thing, but in the movie, his son was in his 40s. He even says my son was 42 and he was the last one to die.
Right.
And then he visits his son in his hospital bed, dying from cancer. And he's just yelling and screaming at him to get out. That I felt was 10 times more impactful than the book one, where you see him as an old man on a crutch, and he's just like, "Dad, GTFO."
The healing effects are really good in this movie, also.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. The action is solid throughout of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the action bits. The parts where they were doing the choreography together, they're really seamless and really excellent to watch them all work together.
Like passing the gun around.
The bit in the church with Charlize Theron, like she can fight, man. She's great.
I wish everybody had used their blades more.
Me too.
When they go in with blades so clearly and specifically attached, but the one who wields it really is Charlize with the axe.
Yeah.
But the rest don't.
Yeah.
I wish that they, not have them or actually use them more. I was surprised that they use more of the axe in the movie than in the book.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
It's a cool axe.
But it's cool. I really, really appreciate that Niall is given time to meet all of them before Nikki and June.
Does Niall have so much more screen time in this than in the book? Does it feel like?
No,
Yeah,
I think it's
pretty present from the moment she's introduced.
You bounced real hard for a second there on your mic.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's pretty much the same. It's just that she's given a lot more play being directly involved in the action, whereas the movie creates a removal for a moment so that she can do the rescue.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, like, having her have that beat where she gets to talk with all of them around a table before they're taken, I thought was far more helpful for, like, character involvement and stuff. I'm glad that they had that, because in the book, it's when she gets there, they're already taken and he's shot and all that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why it bothers me so much that Andy is no longer immortal partway into the film is because I really like in the comic that her and Booker just keep shooting the shit out of each other when she's mad at him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to explain himself. And I'm like, this is a great way for them to be getting out that aggression, because of course they would. And not being able to do that in the film, I think, was a sore loss to have.
Yeah.
And then Niall actually straight up said, it was like, you guys have been around. I mean, like, you've been around for thousands of years. You've been around for a few hundreds of years, but you're acting like kids. And I'm 27.
All this dirt and you're acting like babies.
I love that line.
I think the betrayal for me works better in the movie too, because it's for basically the same. It feels like the same reasons, but like it feels a little more, I don't know, like emotional or sincere than just like, we all want to die, life sucks. Whereas in the movie, it feels like, Andy, I'm trying to help you. You want to die, don't you? Like, it feels a little more like sincere with his betrayal. So when he does try to get redeemed and like they eventually forgive him and stuff, I feel like that's a little more paid off for me personally.
Yeah. Also,
the end with like the 100-year ban had way more impact than the book to me.
No. I'm not saying like all that betrayal redemption stuff doesn't like work better in the movie. I think it does. I just wish that when she's having it out against him, they could have had that shootout kind of moment rather than angry looks across the room of gurneys.
Yeah, but also I love how Niall figures it out.
Yeah.
How she realizes that the gun that Booker gave Andy was empty. She connects the dots and like, oh shit, and that's a great motivation for her to go back. And then Niall sees all the good that they've done after confronting Copley, and then she gets up to the tower.
I think that's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the book one better where she's like, you guys don't understand. You can't just have internet in a cave. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She knows more than they do about technology. So they're not even keenly aware of it. And she's like, that doesn't actually make sense.
Yeah.
And even, like, what I do like how Andy's, like, in the book, she's, like, trying to, she has, like, a phone, and she's like, how the hell do you bottom button? Oh.
Right.
There's a sequence. There's a
Like the
sequence.
old stuff better.
Yeah, there's a sequence that I really enjoy. It's when they jump out of the building, Copley's building, and they're just falling. It's like, so, how you enjoying your first day?
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad they didn't keep that in, and they didn't keep it in because she lost her immortality.
And she's like, yeah, I've never jumped from that high. And she's like, you lied? And it's like, what do you want? Skyscrapers have only been around for like half a century.
Yeah. She's like, I think all my bones are broken. No, they are.
I also really miss the moment when she says it in the comic where she's like, I'm 6,000 something years old and blah blah blah. I like that moment.
Yeah. I was curious how old, because obviously she's the oldest one, ancient Greece old, but I'm like, she's like 1,000 years old, a few thousand years old. I was really hoping for that in the movie, didn't get it, but in the books, I was like, 6,000, damn.
Like she was worshipped as a god once. Like I think it's such a cool idea that I'm sure the longer that this franchise goes on for a movie or comic, we'll learn more about their history. But like how she arrived to just being like a world traveling, just like nice mercenary when she could have been like, you know, like in Egypt being worshipped as like a pharaoh or, you know, something like what her life has been to arrive here. Like
I like the whole plane scene is really good.
Oh yeah.
I really like that a lot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember Niall talking about being interested in antiques in the film.
She is in the comic.
No, I'm talking in the movie.
Not in the movie.
So I really like that aspect in the comic.
Yeah,
I wish that they brought that up in the film.
She does mention the statue though. It's the same sequence as the statue in the movie and the comic.
Right. Yeah. But she doesn't talk about like I was planning to open an antique shop after the core. That's the thing I would have liked to have been there. I think that's just a nice, really cool character detail, making her interested in like all this history. It shows kind of a fascinated future that she can have.
Yeah.
That kind of connects to who she already was,
Yeah.
and expands on just her being more than a soldier, which I wish it's such a simple beat that existed in the book. I wish that they just included it in the film.
Yeah, you're right. Because like that scene is in there where she's like, oh, it's an original one of these guys. Did you know him? And then she'd be like, oh yeah, I was studying that before I went to the Marines, or just something.
Yeah. Well, just like after the Marine Corps, my intention was to open an antique shop, which is exactly what she says. And I'm like, that tells me so much more about her than I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that kind of thing in the film, and I wish that they had.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed the book. I'm curious to go into that sequel.
Yeah, I'm hoping that sequel happens too.
Well, I mean, it is happening. Well, the comic is happening, and the movie apparently did really well.
Well, I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah, the movie did really well, so I think it's probably on its way.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope so because, but I don't know. I didn't love the tease for the sequel. I won't lie.
It felt.
You know what? I had a feeling it was going to happen because she talks about her quite a bit. We get a scene with her. We see her get thrown into the coffin and chucked off the water. So I'm sitting there thinking, where does she fit in? And then the second we get the 6 months later, but I'm like, there it is. There's the tease.
I thought for sure, like, oh, this is where the story could go. I just didn't want to see a tease about it in this movie.
It's very.
I don't like the tease because it leaves me with more questions about the movie than I think are good questions, because they're the kind of questions like, why does she know where Booker is? Why does she know so much about who Booker is? I understand she's supposed to have the dreams and everything, but she's like intimately detailed. And I'm like, here's the thing. I just don't believe you can be drowning and dying over and over again for 500 years at the bottom of the ocean and be cognitively able to stand normal in a room and drink a glass of water like a person. I just don't.
I can't you're
like if there's a bridge before that, that's great.
I think there
but
is.
I didn't want this introduction here because it leaves me in like, well, that feels like the most boring interpretation of who this character could be after an experience like that.
I have 100% feeling that there is a bridge that we'll eventually get to how she got out.
I'm sure, but you get what I mean.
100%. It reminds me of the Avatar: The Last Airbender Azula tease. It's like, oh, his sister's here, and it's like, look, it's me. I'm that character.
Look, in filmmaking and in television making, the order of the sequence of events as you see them matters. And tell me that the opening of the Old Guard 2, with however she got out of the water and she's like off her rocker and then later becomes this person when we see her in the next scene, isn't a better introduction of her coming and filled with more tension than, hi, I'm standing in this room with a glass of water. Hey, Booker, what's up?
What's up? The game is on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It matters, and I didn't need that. I thought that tease sucked all the tension of me anticipating that kind of interaction out of the room.
It also, like, it tells you exactly what the next movie is going to be instead of leaving you with any questions. Like, again, it asks more questions than like, oh, I wonder what the next movie could be about. Oh, no, we know what it is about.
Yeah.
We know. It's a Marvel tease.
Yeah. I think anybody who does a tease like that should be required to always say the game's on.
Yes. Always.
The game is on.
Pacific Rim Uprising. The game is on.
Really drunk there, like, the game is on.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it's just it's so in a film that was so well paced and kept me interested and wanting more. That deflated me in a way.
It seems like a producer
that really
knows.
sucked.
It seems like a producer like, hey, you got to set up the sequel. It's a Marvel movie, right? No, this is not anything. No, but do it.
Yeah, I think the stand-up for me, for sure, for this movie is the action. But I think I like the way the story unfolds better in the comic. I don't know. I'm sitting on both of them, and it teeters. It teeters.
Yeah.
There's definitely like aspects from both that I think both hurt and then improve their individual things. And it's not quite the perfect meshing in the movie of what it could have been, but it's still good. It's still very enjoyable.
I still think the core cast itself, like especially like the chemistry between Nick and Joe. Like they were so fun to watch all the time. They're just so in love with each other and just like they don't give a shit about anyone thinks.
I honestly wish they could have, like, I understand that the comic wrote it that way, so it is what it is, but I wish they could have done more in the film.
Yeah.
But I still like it. I wanted to spotlight that moment in the comic because I thought it was dope. When they trick the doctor to letting them out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, so you'll say that everything was fine. It's like, well, really, man, you did it for your own personal well-being. So you're not really a good person. And honestly, you went at this a little too eagerly. So, and that panel of his neck being swirled into the crack is so good.
Does something kind of like that happen to a doctor where like she gets like neck snapped? Remember?
No, not the
really
doctor. It's the lead of the
the
squad to protect them.
The
and in the comic, he's dropped out the window.
That's right.
For shooting him. But in this, he does do that, like, bam, and right on your neck. Yeah, that was a really good shot.
Yeah.
That was good action. But the doctor just gets knocked to the side.
That's right.
Yeah, I think all in all, good. Want to see more? What do we rate the movie? Final thoughts? Rate movie?
I'll give it a 7.5. I thought it was pretty fun. Good action. That's 8. No, 7.5. Yeah, I thought it was good. Good fun. Yes.
Yeah, I give it a 7.5 also.
Yeah.
I think overall it's really solid. To be honest, I think I would prefer a world where this movie, because they go about the angle of having her lose her immortality and getting wounded and setting up that as part of the story, I'd almost prefer this to be a one-off. I don't really want the sequel tease. I don't even know if I want the sequel right now. Because of how the movie told the story, I'm like, I like this as a self-contained thing at the moment.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunately not. And if it wasn't going to be, I kind of wish they had kept the comic element of her staying immortal for the time being.
Yeah.
But especially because I don't feel like we got some of the best parts of what was so good about her being immortal in the comic out of the movie. She lost that pretty early on. And we didn't get some of her best, like, what I can do action-wise because it don't matter. Out of her, which I think is a shame.
I do like the line that they took from. It was just like a description dialogue of like she knows how to kill more men and like
she's learned more ways to kill and she's forgotten more ways to kill than any army has ever learned.
And that's like a descriptor in the comic, but like that's something that like one of the characters says about her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a cool little like descriptor. Like, yo man, you're around 6,000 years. You probably know how to kill a fool.
Right.
It's been so long since we reviewed a movie. I forgot how he did it. Ben, what would you rate it?
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
Solid movie. I had fun watching it. I wasn't bored. My mind didn't wander. It's got some issues. Like now that we've been talking about it, I was like, okay, yeah, there are some things that are kind of but there's things I really liked. Like, I kind of do wish they were using their swords and their blades a little bit more, along with the gunplay.
Yeah.
But either, all in all, it was a solid adaptation. It was fun, and I'm interested in this world, and I'm actually kind of hoping for that sequel.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm about a 7.5 or an 8. I'd have to settle on a bit more, but that's kind of where I'm sitting. I think the action is really good, and I was really entertained throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron's awesome. Like I
she's
think she's so terrific.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else we want to talk about the comic, or is that it?
Let's see. I like a lot of the flashback stuff with Andy. Like I like they don't go to it too much in the movie, but I really wish they went harder into the fact like she doesn't care and she has slept around the entire world, and like they don't go to it too much, but it is there. But I really when you're 6,000 years old, man, you have such a history, and they just every issue just plopped a little bit in here and there, and I kind of just wanted more of that, but it's not like a negative. It's just I wanted more of it.
The movie does expand better on the concept of discovering a reason for living.
Yes.
Than the comic did.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that for sure. It's helped by that Copley thing, even though it makes Copley less sensible.
Despite the Copley thing, I do think like her whole thing is like the world's not getting better, we're not helping, when in actuality you are the reason the world is the way it is. Like you have made it better. That is a cool realization.
I wanted to point out that I really like in the comic, obviously in the movie, but since we're talking about the comic, but like the idea that the premise is everything dies, it's just not our time yet. Mm-hmm. Like just one day they will stop healing and they'll die. I like that. I think that's a pretty interesting wrinkle to the whole immortality thing.
It's one of those things where like I really hope they never fully go into the explanation, because like I don't.
Same. I agree. I was surprised that the comic didn't show Niall dreaming about them and didn't even establish that happened. I like that aspect in the movie more, that they're dreaming about each other at the same time. So like when she sees her, there's some kind of recognition of it, of knowing who she is to a degree.
But man, again, that is almost like literally straight from the book. Like they dream and they wake up and he grabs his notepad. Like, all right, so I see free men.
That's really good too.
Marines. Yeah. Like they all get different aspects. Like that is such a cool
and I
idea.
like in the comic that she has the beat where she's like, no, we're not doing this right now. And it's like, dude, no, we got to. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Okay. I guess that'll do it then.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have a good comic book adaptation come out that we can talk about. Like that's it feels like it's been a long ass time.
Yeah. All right. So next week, Ben, you're going to be off.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, real quick. The comic has really nice art. Yeah. There are some pages that I think are what they do with shadows specifically is really, really creative. And I really liked that. Some of the paneling is exceptional. I just wanted to spotlight that because we didn't really touch on the art of the book.
That's
and
true.
I really did like the art in the book too. It took me a little while at first. At first I didn't warm up to it right away, but then like I saw a lot of what they were doing with colors and where shadows were, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so Ben, next week you'll be off for the majority of the episode. Obviously, you'll be on with the topic. But we are going to skip your book club and move you.
Ben, for one day, I'm going to go grab my book club.
So Ryan, it's the time that Ryan needs to talk about his book club.
Real quick. So what will happen next week is we are not going to be doing our show live like we've been doing during the quarantine, because we are doing our topic and then the rest of our show in 2 separate recordings. So we'll just be releasing one video episode once we've recorded both as a big edited piece. And we'll be doing that very quickly after we record them. I'll be working on that. And that's how that's going to go because of Ben's planned absence, unless for some reason it doesn't go.
Yeah. So right now it's looking like, Ben, you are going.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all there is to know about that. And Ryan, what's your book club this week?
My name's Ryan Eliopoulos, and after watching 15 DC animated movies, I'm in the mood for some more DC stuff. So, sorry, I ran. Now I'm out of breath because I'm out of shape. I think I'm the only person who read this book when it was coming out. This is at the end of the New 52 because this was in my 2017 long box, and I was at the very front, and I was like, oh yeah, what's that? And I was like, oh yeah, it is Nightwing, The New Order. It is an Elseworlds tale about Nightwing being the leader of the anti-superhero force in the future. Oh, excuse me. So it's really cool. It's an Elseworld tale about Nightwing and Corey's son, and he has superpowers. And what is Rick Grayson? Oh, Rick Grayson. Excuse me. What is Dick
Excuse
Grayson?
me.
Yeah, that's a bad Freudian slip. What does Dick Grayson do when he is the leader of the free world and he's outlawed superhero powers and his son has superhero powers? It's a cool Elseworld story. Can't wait for you to read it.
Awesome.
All right.
I'll just say again, like to anyone listening, our 200th episode, our topic is that we are talking about all of Neon Genesis Evangelion. We are talking about the entire show. We are discussing both the ADV and Netflix dubs in a slight comparative thing, but we're just talking about the show in general, and End of Evangelion, the film. And that's it. So if you are not familiar, you have some time. You got a week. If you're in quarantine and you're unemployed, what else are you doing?
It's only
watch Evangelion.
It's 26 episodes, half hour long. The movie's like an hour and a half. It's one of the greatest animes of all time. I got a tattoo of it. I love it. You're gonna want to be here. You're gonna want to know about it because we're gonna go hard into it, and it's gonna be literally gibberish if you don't know.
Yeah,
what
we
we're
will
talking
not.
about.
We will not be baby stepsing that one.
Maybe the first 3 minutes will be a
We wanted
description.
we wanted to pick something very big for our 200th episode, and Evangelion is big. So
I'm so happy everyone got into it.
So there you go. Episode 200 next week. Stay tuned for that. We also have things on this channel. If you guys are watching the live stream, we have other shows.
Thank you, Mag. We'll see you in episode 200 also.
Take it back.
We have Fake Nerds Watch, which is another show we have on here where we do after shows of various TV shows. The Boys Season 1. You can check that out before The Boys Season 2 comes out. We also have Basement Arcade, which we are 2 episodes away, I believe you said, from finishing a Mortal Kombat series.
Mortal Kombats, yep.
So stay tuned for that, and then another Basement Arcade series that you guys are discussing now, right?
Yep.
And we also have our new show, Fake Nerd Book Club, where we talked about Wasted Space. We finished that series. We did the first 3 episodes on the first 3 volumes of that series. Happy to say it's not over yet, so stay tuned for more. And we are getting the writer, Michael Morecci, on that show coming up this week, thereabouts. So definitely want to check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're very excited. And if you guys are keeping up with the Fake Nerd Book Club or you guys are interested in starting the next series, it is The Pride on Comixology.
Yes, the Comixology original, The Pride.
At the comic store this week, after learning that Michael Morecci wrote some Star Wars comics, I saw 2 different Star Wars comics with his name on it. And I'm like, bro, good for you getting that Star Wars money.
Currently, Michael Morecci, who wrote Wasted Space, is currently writing the Star Wars Clone Wars Battle Tales series, 5-issue series. Definitely something that we're going to be mentioning when we talk with him. If you got questions for Michael Morecci, let us know before we talk to him.
He's written
in 2 days.
The novel Black Star Renegades. He's written Roche Limit. He's written the Pale. It's another in the book. He's a cool guy. Check him out.
So it should be a lot of fun. We also have a Funko affiliate link where you can click the link in the description below for 10% off your purchase of any Funko Pop. There's a lot of cool pops coming out for Comic-Con, I think. I don't know. You guys like Sonic? I know nobody here does. But if you guys do, pops.
I don't think Ben wants some pops. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so either. There's another Stephen King pop.
No, Ben, I'm being sincere. Do you want Super Silver, the Funko?
I really want Super Tails.
Yeah, but do you want Super Silver?
Not really.
Isn't that a stupid combo?
It is. It should have been Hyper Knuckles and Turbo Tails. That's what, because we have Super Sonic already. Should have been Hyper Knuckles and Turbo Tails, because that's a thing. That's actually a thing.
I agree with you, or at least like Super Shadow.
Oh, well, he was E3 last year though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but still, Super Silver.
So I know Super Silver with Tails. If it should have been with Silver, it should have been Blaze.
Sure, I agree.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about comic stuff. You won't understand.
Hey, man, this is our X-Men right now.
Who's Silver?
Silver is.
Do you really want me to tell you?
Time travel. He's from the bad Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 reboot.
He's from 06 Sonic 06.
That's fair. Okay.
All right. So get that pop on there. You can also we also have a Patreon and a TeePublic. I forgot to mention it here, but we have masks. Guys, hey, I've been talking about it for weeks. I'm going crazy. Our topics were based on the Gilligan's Island theme song. Come on, guys. I have anxiety when I leave my house. Wear your damn mask so I can go see my damn friends.
Stop going to restaurants too.
Stop going to restaurants. We have them. They are well priced. They're good quality. Guys, $12. Links are in the description. We sold a couple, still a couple more. Do your duty.
Wear damn masks.
All those links are in the description. TeePublic with the new Fake Nerd Book Club, a t-shirt, Patreon with our 2 things. Or you can find all our links on our website at www.fakenerdpodcast.com. All right, thank you to everyone who listens. We greatly appreciated all your support. These 200 episodes, guys, I can't believe it. 200 next week.
Holy shit!
That means we've done well over 200 things with all the specials and everything.
Yeah.
Well over.
Well done, guys.
Or probably, honestly, because our YouTube numbers are almost as the same as our regular numbers by now. So we're almost at 400 things. Hot dog.
Yeah. All right. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci. Jeremy, you've been a great supporter. We got some new songs from him that we're discussing whether or not to debut on 200. So wait and see for that, I guess. You can find him at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards, or you can find his podcast, Suburban Proctologist, on iTunes, facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official, or Instagram at Subproc Podcast. He's also on Spotify, and he's also on YouTube. Guy, very funny podcast. Very great stuff. Definitely check that one out.
Brandon's definitely not saying that because he's in an episode.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
Thank you to Mike Matola. Mike, you're great. I got your print hung up all nice and kind. I'll get you that list of perfect movies later. You can find him at Mike Matola. I really want to get him on again. We got to figure out how to do that.
Yes.
He did our now 3 logos, one for Fake Nerd Book Club, Miscellaneous, and Fake Nerd Podcast.
This beauty, that's by my face all day.
All right, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BC McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ben?
You can find me on the internet at BenMagnet27 for both Instagram and Twitter. And also I write for oldschoolgamermagazine.com. New articles going up tonight.
Whoop whoop.
The link will be in the description below. Ryan?
You can find me at DJ Tony Snark everywhere, and I maybe be streaming on YouTube, Twitch this week under DJ Tony Snark 616. Bing bong.
There's a lot of Dead by Daylight on his YouTube.
8 hours of it. Jeez Louise.
Sparks.
You can find me definitely playing Dead by Daylight at SparksWitty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty. We definitely don't say my real name on that stream. That doesn't happen.
That's the line where we draw between professional and realism.
I know, right? Yeah.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify. Rate and review. iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. Until next week, guys. Stay